San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the San Antonio Spurs are due to play the LA Lakers on Saturday. Will it happen? Not sure, but today the NBA is postponing the Lakers-Hornets game at Crypto Arena due to the raging wildfires across the LA area. Also being reported that Lakers head coach J.J. Redick has lost his home in those fires. And the NFL has a contingency plan. If the Monday night playoff game between the Vikings and the Rams can't be played in LA, they'll go to Arizona.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along here on the radio. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. Maybe you're having a full-body workout. Whatever it is you're doing, thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Whatever you're doing, I hope you're warm and dry today. What a nasty winter day.
Warm and dry?
Warm and dry.
Damn, you're greedy, because if anybody that's working outside might not be dry or warm, but we appreciate you listening in all these elements as well.
Yeah, well, sure. If you have to work outside, I'm sorry. But we need you.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
So thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, what was it that just sent a tweet that he's getting ready for a 1-hour full-body workout while tuning in?
Our good friend Art Garcia says he's about to lift 60-minute full-body weightlifting workout, and he's watching us. So, Art, we appreciate that. Don't hurt yourself, and I hope you have a great workout,
Don't
my
hurt
friend.
yourself. Big screen, little screen, whatever it is you're doing, because he's the guy that normally goes on a power walk with us, right?
He does. That's right.
So
yeah.
he does a 30-minute daily walk.
So Art's a healthy dude.
Well, he's getting there. I'm just curious. I mean, we're a 4-hour show, Art. Shouldn't you be walking the entire time? You've been doing a half hour for a long time. Time to hit that stretch goal and make it an hour.
Dude, a 4-hour walk? The hell's going to do that?
Well, not me. But see, I do a 30-minute walk every day, and my wife, who would like to go, she goes for runs now. We don't even always walk together because she wants to go, well, let's do a 6-mile. No. I've got a 1-mile loop in my neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
It is exactly 1 mile.
Well, that's cool.
And I actually get to the full mile through the front door, through the house, to the bedroom, to where I take my shoes off in the closet. That makes it a mile. Because sometimes you're like, well, let's just do a little half block here to get there. I don't need to get the whole mile outdoors. I can finish that mile indoors.
Doesn't matter as long as you get the steps in.
Exactly.
Right? That's
exactly the way I look at it.
Now, when do you do this? You do this after the show or before the show?
After.
After the show.
Well, I've been inconsistent with the weather being cold. I'm not going to lie. Although I do, trying to be honest with myself, although this week is, well, I'm 0 for 2025. I'll put it that way. If I don't go home and walk, I will try to get a walk in the morning.
It's the 9th of January. Dude. So you've missed 9 days is what you're telling me.
I'm 0 for 2025. I'm not going to lie. I have not gone on a walk yet this year.
All right. You're doing that no walk January, huh?
That's a great idea, Jim. I like that.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's a great idea, Jim.
Yes, no walk January.
No walk
All you
January.
other people trying to get in shape, I'm trying to get out of it so I can dominate February or March when the weather gets better. But
yeah.
typically, I would I'll get up in the morning and get the mile in if I didn't do it the night before. But I have not done that yet. Although I honestly might need to go for a walk when I get home tonight, although there'll be football on. Because this morning, advertising works. I get home, and there are Pop-Tarts in the cupboard. Now, we haven't had Pop-Tarts forever, but all the talk about Pop-Tarts in the Pop-Tart bowl and the this and the that, and my wife came home the other day. She's like, I got Pop-Tarts.
Nice.
And she bought 2 boxes.
Wow.
The double fudge chocolate, which I like, and then also the Pop-Tart Bites, which I didn't know were a thing. in strawberry. Now, I haven't had Pop-Tarts in a long time, but about 10 o'clock this morning, I had Pop-Tarts, and I feel like crap. I haven't had lunch. I'm still kind of full, but I feel like crap. I haven't had Pop-Tarts for breakfast in a long time.
So what do you mean you feel like crap?
Dude,
Are you hungry or what?
No, I'm not hungry, but you eat that Pop-Tart and I guess the sugar and everything else that goes with it, and you just feel like crap. And generally for breakfast, I have eggs or a taco or those kielbasa breakfast sausages, and that's it. To have 2 Pop-Tarts in the morning, holy crap, I've been kind of sluggish all day. I can't say that I recommend them. At least, I don't know. So I feel like today I should probably go home and walk.
You probably should. You can listen to the game right here on just tune in 94.1.
Did you mention that it's cold outside and probably rainy?
It'll be over by then.
We don't know that.
Still going to be cold, but the rain will be gone.
Yeah. Is it? It's still going to be cold. I'm probably not going to go home and walk tonight.
I mean, why ruin a streak? You're on a hell of a streak right now, 9 in a row. Why stop that now?
I mean, you're on to a good point. I don't disagree with you. And just my good friend Joe not encouraging me to, you're getting into bad habits. Because what did they say? 21 days makes a habit?
Is that what it is?
That's what they say.
Huh.
I don't know. I'm very close to breaking or creating a new habit of not walking on a regular basis.
I'm going to the gym every day this week. It's been great getting back into it. I missed 2 weeks. I was out of shape. I'm back in and
You're not
ready
back
to go.
In shape.
Well, some things are, but some aren't. It's back in though. I feel good.
Yeah.
I feel good. And, my wife wanted to do the whole dry January thing, and I said no. I said, honey, you're more than welcome to do that, but if you're expecting,
I've met your wife.
If you're expecting support,
that was a horrifying 20 minutes for her.
If you're expecting a support, I'm sorry, I won't be giving it to you. I said, but what I will do, I said, look, and we usually don't do this anyway, other than maybe a glass of wine or a cold beer or something. But I said Monday through Thursday, we'll nothing. But I said I'm drinking on the weekends.
Yeah.
I'm drinking on the weekend.
There's football on tonight.
Well, I know, and so that may end tonight.
and I have, I have a fresh 12-pack of Flight by Yingling in my fridge go with the other beer that was already in my fridge that you paid off yesterday from the Dalvin Cook beer bet.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that I did pay off that bet.
And quite honestly, I feel like beer's not meant to sit there very long.
No.
So not only will I not go for a walk, I'll have a beer, but it's Flight by Yingling, so that's good, right?
Right, it's like diet beer.
And if that makes you feel better, now I'm looking at my phone right now, and I don't know always how accurate these things are, but even when you pull up your iPhone right now, it's got rain falling on the screen. It's 41, feels like 32. Now, I don't want to get into the feels like conversation, but it's freaking cold outside.
It's cold.
Rain is expected to stop in 21 minutes and start again 5 minutes later. So apparently there is a 5-minute break, according to my phone, coming up. 100% chance of rain in the 3 o'clock hour, 65% in the 4 o'clock hour, 70% in the 5 o'clock hour, 65% in the 6 o'clock hour, and the 7 o'clock hour. 75% in the 8. It's going to rain. I'm not going for a walk tonight.
There's a 25% chance it won't rain.
I'm
Come on now.
All right.
You got to look on the bright side.
The bright side is it's 100% chance it's too cold for my ass to be outside going on a walk.
You. Plus, there's a hell of a football game on tonight. And you want to watch that and listen to it on the radio. You can do both.
You can. Now, there's a poll up. Thanks, Ryan. What should Jason do? Go for a walk? Go for a walk and listen to football.
Now, I voted for that one.
See, bad word, Ryan. Because both of these are telling me to go for a walk.
Yeah, but at least you're going to listen to the football game. You can take an umbrella with you. You got your heated vest. You'll be fine. Did you charge it up?
Oh, it's charged and ready to go for tomorrow.
Well, there you go. You can use it tonight, charge it overnight, it'll be ready to go.
No. See, Joe, I have a big day on Saturday.
Uh-huh.
And I can't risk catching a cold between now and then.
Well, you won't, because even if you pick up the bug today,
Shut up.
it won't be. It takes a few days to hibernate and then matriculate in your body
and matriculate.
Yeah, all of that stuff.
All of a sudden, you've turned into James Pledger.
That's what happens. It takes a couple of days. You don't just catch a cold one day and you have a cold.
Why?
Now, you picked up that bug a couple of days before, right?
Why on the poll can there not be an option? Sit in the recliner with a cold beer and a blanket, because that is what's going to happen.
Just walk around your house. Just go from room to room.
I'm going to be in my recliner with a cold beer next to me and a blanket, watching football.
That sounds like a hell of a plan, because that's what I'm going to be doing.
Yes.
If my wife says okay. I told her.
If your wife says okay.
I may have to pretend.
Pretend?
I'll pretend.
Pretend what?
I'm going to have to dump out a can of Flight by Yingling and fill it up with water and just pretend.
That's pathetic.
That's horrible, isn't it?
That's pathetic.
Yeah, that may come to an end tonight. There's too many things happening.
I've
been good. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, nothing.
Yeah?
Nothing.
See, I think that's good. If you've got 4 days dry, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, drink.
Sure.
I think that's a compromise. That's the C word all of us married people have had to learn. The compromise word. And I think that would be a good compromise, because it's still 4 days where she's getting her dry January BS.
Well, she got all interested because apparently her daughter is doing this, and I was telling her the other day how great she feels and how much she's getting done and all this stuff, and it's
her daughter's getting married, and there's other reasons,
and there's that too. But I mean, still, so I don't know. It was a very wet holiday season. I'm just saying.
It was for all of us. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have these grand plans. I was talking to my wife earlier. She called and it was like, they're talking about as nasty as the weather is, they might let us leave work early. And I was like,
oh, wow.
You work at a hospital. What do you mean leave work early because it's raining outside? That's random and different, right?
Well, it would just tuck the patients in and say, we'll see you tomorrow.
And she said, but I don't have any idea what we're going to do for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a good chance we end up at the Roo Pub there at 281 and Redland Road.
That's a good place to be.
Which also certainly would have a cold beer there and a great dinner and a great place to go watch tonight's Orange Bowl. Penn State, Notre Dame. Tomorrow, Texas is taking on Ohio State in the NFL playoffs this weekend. There is no better place to go watch any big game, any big event there at the Roo Pub at 281 and Redland Road with those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. And when you go to the Roo Pub, go hungry. The food is fantastic. They got the biggest and best wings in town, about 15 different burgers on the menu, including that new bison burger. They've got incredible hot dogs, the chicken sandwich. The salads are wonderful, I'm told, and great appetizers. And that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So when you need that late-night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Roo Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. Happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant, the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
South Texas College Football Headquarters. Wonderful time of the year for fans. Bowl season is no exception. The biggest and best matchups this bowl season are brought to you by Ewald Kubota, the Break Room Bar, and Smoky Mo's Barbecue. Hear them all on South Texas' first and only FM sports station, 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back, I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
I'm Nicole Chrysler, healthcare provider at Revive Men's Health. If you are always feeling tired or moody, have a difficult time sleeping, or decreased libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health San Antonio at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-319-3687. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-319-3687. 800-319-3687. 800-319-3687.
So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Flight by Yuengling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Tomorrow we're going to be live out at Pop Stroke with a special Flight Friday. Our friends from Yuengling will be there with some great prizes. Get you ready for the Cotton Bowl. Texas and Ohio State. Pop Stroke over there off I-10 near 1604. We'll be out there live from 2 to 6. Going to be a good time out there.
It is going to be a good time out there. I can't wait to get out there and see what that place is all about. I haven't been. Looking forward to going, having a good lunch, maybe playing a few holes before the show. It's going to be fun. Absolutely.
And the weather's going to be perfect for it.
It's going to be perfect.
Better than today.
Yeah, no rain.
I mean, that forecast, what it was a week ago and what it is going to be, which is why everybody should want to be a weatherman. I mean.
You don't have to be right.
Ever. Right?
Yeah.
It's like a baseball player that's batting 300.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's considered incredible.
Get a hit 3 out of 10 times.
Exactly.
Perfect.
How many of us can be successful at our job 30% and be considered good?
Us?
Give or take. I mean, just when we look at your picks.
My picks have been pretty damn good lately.
Yeah. You're still dead last in our group.
I am, but I'm making a comeback.
You're really not.
No?
You're really not.
Look at this. Tomorrow's going to be sunny. All right? It's still be a little chilly, but the sun will be out.
Mm-hmm.
So make your plans to come
pulled
see
up
us.
your
My handy-dandy weather app here.
handy-dandy.
Yes.
Let's go Blues Clues, everybody.
Yes, so it is...
Grandpa in a green shirt going Blues Clues. Think about that for a minute.
What are you, making fun of my green shirt?
When you're going Blues Clues, I am.
I don't even know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
I have no clue what that means.
Okay.
Blues, is that a show?
Yes.
Blues Clues?
For little kids.
Okay, well, that explains a lot. I remember watching Captain Kangaroo. I mean,
All right. I mean, it's not like you don't have
Captain
any
Gus.
kids or grandkids. I have a hard time believing you have no idea about Blues Clues.
Dude, I really don't. I mean, they watch stuff and they just tell me to put it on YouTube and on this channel, the Disney, whatever.
And then you start drinking.
Well, yeah, I don't know what I don't know what show they're watching.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they're happy.
Blues Clues was a life changer in the Minix household.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Probably 25 years ago, we had a rule, or my wife did. Erica was not going to have a TV in her bedroom. And I was doing a morning show at the time, and I'd pick her up from daycare around noon. Joanna was working in the emergency room, and we'd get home at 7:30 or 8. So for a solid 8 hours, it was me and the kid. And at the age, whatever age they are, 1.5, 2, where they know their shows they want to watch. After about the 4th hour of Blues Clues, I made the grand decision that while the wife said she couldn't have a TV in her bedroom, she didn't say anything about the game room. And a TV went into the game room with all the Blues Clues Erica wanted to watch, and my TV was back to being my TV. And about 3 days later, when Joanna figured that out, about a month later, we were talking again, but Erica's had a TV in the game room since then.
Well, how did she know there was a TV in the game room?
Who?
Your wife.
Well, she went in there.
That's. I think it's genius. I'll give you credit for that one. Yeah. Not bad.
That Blues Clues, man, that'd drive you nuts.
Yes.
That'd drive you, and that's all the kid wanted to watch back then.
All of those shows will drive you nuts.
All of them. And Clifford the Big Red Dog.
I've heard of that one.
Well, I'm sure you have.
Yeah. Not Blues Clues, though.
Dora the Explorer. I mean, it was just like, you check on them every now and then. She's fine.
No, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's exactly.
But I needed my TV back.
You got to have it.
Yes.
Well, nowadays the kids have these damn
iPads.
iPads.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Get off my lawn.
I didn't have money to buy my kids stuff like that. I mean, I don't know where my kids are getting all the damn money from.
Mm-hmm. Grandpa.
Yeah. They're doing well, and I'm happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Now everybody in our YouTube chat is commenting on the kid shows. Any dad out there can relate. Any parent out there can relate. John Sobery says, Dora drove me nuts. Art Garcia is talking about Bear in the Big Blue House. I don't even know what that is, and I'm glad I don't.
Well, that's better than Blues Clues, apparently.
Yeah, well, most things have to be better than Blues Clues. I ain't gonna lie. But the kids liked it, kept them entertained.
Well, Joshua Jimenez says it was a game changer. As a Texan fan, would he really know what a game changer is?
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
I feel bad for the Texans this weekend.
We'll get into that coming up.
Yeah.
We'll get into that coming up. Bexar County Judge Peter Sakai will join us in about 12 minutes from right now. Get his thoughts on lack of information for Project Marvel and the county's involvement in the new Spurs arena. So we'll talk with Judge Peter Sakai. His first ever appearance here on the Blitz coming up in about 10 minutes. But McCarthy watch continues.
Which is unbelievable, isn't it?
No, it's totally believable.
It is unbelievable.
It is totally believable.
I did see a report today, though, that from Rappaport, that he's reporting they're talking. Whatever that means, they're talking.
I'm sure they are talking, and I'm sure there's negotiating going on. The idea, and again, it's unbelievable, but it's not because it's Jerry Jones and it's the Dallas Cowboys. what is unbelievable, although maybe not, is what we heard this morning on Get Up with Mike Greenberg and Adam Schefter talking about Sark to the Dallas Cowboys.
But I'm speculating. Recklessly, perhaps.
Yes.
The way this makes sense is if Jerry Jones has someone in mind that he wants to see if he can get, and if he can't get that person, he still wants Mike McCarthy. Well, what is this? What is the big thing that happens between now and January 14th? Steve Sarkisian's season might end, and he might get the opportunity to have that conversation before the exclusive window.
I want to come back to this. We see all these teams submitting requests for all these candidates. All these candidates are talking to all these teams. To the best of my knowledge, Dallas has not requested an interview with any one of these candidates. So I guess Dallas could always jump into the head coaching search next week if something doesn't get done with Mike McCarthy and find the candidate that they want. But they're already falling behind these other teams in the search for a new coach if that's the direction they go. So what are they doing? There has to be a plan. Right. They're not just doing this willy-nilly and flying by the seat of their pants. So I think plan A is to get that deal done with Mike McCarthy. But if they can't, what is the plan? And I think Jerry Jones knows what that plan is.
Well, of course, Jerry knows what the plan is, whether it gets executed. Now, it is interesting and fair to note what they talked about. The Dallas Cowboys have not requested to interview anybody that is currently under contract.
True.
Because those are the only ones that we would know about if they decided not to let us know. So if you look at a Mike Vrabel, they could talk to him. None of us would know. Pete Carroll, none of us would know. You know, Ron Rivera, we wouldn't have to know that. Now, Lil Kellen Moore, we would know that because he currently is under contract and the Cowboys have not put any requests in. Waiting for Sark? No. I mean, I guess it's possible. I guess it is possible.
Well, Jerry's going to the game, and he's taking Micah Parsons with him.
He is.
So they will have every opportunity, and Sark is in Dallas now. I'm sure, they could have had dinner last night. Who knows? Might have dinner tonight.
I'm pretty sure Sark is pretty busy. And
just saying,
if he were to be caught dead anywhere near Jerry Jones, he can't hide. Sark cannot hide, neither can Jerry. They're not going anywhere. And I don't know, there's an athletic director, there's coaching staffs, there's, Sark doesn't have an hour to say, hey, guys, I'm going to go for a walk. I'll be back in an hour, and nobody knows where he is, right? That's not going to happen. They're not meeting this week, at least not in – well, maybe they are in person. I mean, would it be that unusual if, Jerry were to be at the team hotel, but they're not doing anything private, and the fact that we haven't seen anything about it yet, I'd be hard-pressed to think this is believable.
See, let's take this conspiracy theory a little further.
Okay.
Jerry's thinking right now, okay, I get Sark in there. 2 years from now, I can get Arch Manning. I mean, it works hand in hand.
Yes.
We'll reunite the two as Dallas Cowboys.
Well, and we know Archie, because he was drunk in his bar, or at least in his bar, said that he wants him to be with the Dallas Cowboys.
That's what he said.
So let's go with a more realistic conspiracy theory. Mike McCarthy, you get a 2-year deal. Sark, you're going to be our head coach in 2 years, and we draft Arch Manning.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, we're just going to sign the deal now.
Sets up perfectly.
Absolutely. It's Mike McCarthy and the incentive plan.
No offense, okay? But I said this morning, got a lot of pushback. But
were you at the gym?
I was.
You got pushback from Ray?
Ray, yeah.
I'm shocked.
Well, and everybody else who was listening. There were a few guys standing around.
I'm surprised.
Sark hasn't exactly, in my mind, helped his resume this year. I mean, it really hasn't. I mean, Texas they're obviously in the Final Four, which is a good thing, but they're loaded with talent. And it just seems like there are some things that have happened, especially play calling wise, that just are not that impressive. And so I'm just not sure that Sark is the boy genius that everybody wants to make him out to be.
And you got pushback on that and wonder why.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, look, you're a Longhorn fan. I mean, it's kind of like talking about Dak Prescott. They're the greatest things in the whole world. I'm just saying.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying he's a bad coach, but I'm just not thinking he's not the genius that everybody makes him out to be and the greatest coach to ever walk the 40 acres.
At Joe Reinagle 210.
Please let me know.
On Twitter.
Because I'm sure most of you out there will agree with me.
Most.
Here's the problem I have.
Got his team in the Final Four.
Let me just give you an example.
Okay.
Arizona State.
Yep.
What was the biggest lead the Longhorns had in that game? 17, 18?
Sure.
Uh-huh. And then what does Sark do? Nothing. He doesn't keep doing the same things that got him that lead.
No.
He
right.
folds his tent and just says, well, we're just going to protect this lead. What happens? Arizona State comes back.
All gas, no brakes is BS.
It's
all gas, big lead, cruise control. Uh-oh, gas pedal again.
Sark's afraid to lose.
I think in a lot of I don't disagree that there's too many times this year they get a lead and then they play not to lose as opposed to just blowing somebody out and putting them out of their misery.
Absolutely.
I get that. Do I think that he's lost anything as far as his genius or his abilities to coach? Not at all. Not at all. But I am worried, and I've said this many times, big moments, he looks panicked when they show him.
He does.
And that's a concern. That is a concern and something that we'll certainly be watching for tomorrow night. Our county judge, Bear County Judge Peter Sakai, joins us next here on The Blitz as we get the latest on what's going on with Project Marvel in the new Spurs arena. You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online, mybestbailbonds.com.
The Morning Huddle.
Those videos where they put a piece of tape and some string and they like tape to the back of their face.
Oh, yeah. Look how much it's moving.
So I'm going to have to come up with some kind of contraption.
Oh, man.
With some fishing wire and duct tape that's going to pull this wobble back or whatever.
You're gonna look like Kim Cattrall.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a huge inheritance. But a phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard for a new one on us. Just trade in any phone from our top brands with select unlimited plans. $829.99 purchase with new smartphone line on select unlimited plans. Minimum $90 per month with auto pay plus taxes and fees for 36 months required. Less $830 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Trade-in terms apply. Payoff phone requires smartphone purchase and port-in with new smartphone line on select plan. Must provide most recent bill showing payoff amount of eligible phone. Additional terms apply.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases, we do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
America's best high school football players are coming to San Antonio. It's the Navy All-American Bowl at the Alamo Dome on Saturday, January 11th. C.J. Stroud, Christian McCaffrey, and Micah Parsons played here. Join us for a day of exciting football to see the stars of tomorrow at the Navy All-American Bowl, followed by the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game, presented by Valero. Fan Zone opens at 9:30 a.m. Tickets on sale at the Dome box office and Ticketmaster.
It's time to huddle up and listen close. For 2024, we pay tribute to a true game changer in the world of snacks. The unrivaled, the unbeatable, the pork rind. Yes, it's crunch time, and we're not just talking about the last few nail-biting minutes of the game. We're talking about a snack so audaciously crunchy, it puts those pretentious chips and pretzels to shame. So here's to you, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, for being more than just a crunch. Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. It's crunch time. Find your rind at H-E-B.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. You can always subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Along with Joe Reinagel, I'm Jason Minix. Headline in the Express News the other day, Bexar County won't ask voters to fund new Spurs arena without more details and an East Side plan. This article was very surprising to me because I figured most of the I's were dotted and the T's were crossed when the Spurs had that whole Project Marvel announcement. Now, that is not the case because one of the guys in the dark is, well, one of the most important people in our city, in our county, and that is Bexar County Judge Peter Sakai, who joins us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Judge Sakai, appreciate you taking some time. Your first appearance on this show. We appreciate you coming on.
Hey guys, yeah, I am honored and humbled. I have made it to the big time. San Antonio Sports Stars, the Blitz. This is my first appearance, and I guess I can say I've truly made it in this county.
You have made it now, man. It's there. The politics, I love it. No, and we appreciate that, Judge. Thinking about all your work in San Antonio and what you're doing now. When I read this article, I was like, man, I can't believe this, because I thought when they made that big announcement, they had all their ducks in a row and we were ready to move forward. From your seat as the Bexar County judge and with Commissioner's Court, what is the county's involvement in this project, for one? And two, are you surprised you don't have all the info you feel like you need?
No, for one, I'm not surprised. This is a complex transaction, a business deal that the city, the county, and the Spurs are going to have to come to. Obviously, we're talking about a substantial amount of money. We've got to figure out, are we going to involve taxpayer money? Is there going to be other types of public finance? There's, as you said earlier, there's a lot of I's that need to be dotted and a lot of T's crossed. And in regards to the request for a venue tax election for May, I personally could not commit to that and say that I would call for election, because we need more information in order for us and as county judge to make the best decision for the taxpayers of Bexar County.
Judge Sakai, what I found interesting, at least your quotes in that article that we read, were the fact that it's very important to you to find out exactly what the public thinks about all of this before you make a decision or anybody makes a decision. I found that honorable.
Well, and guys, and Joe Reinagel, I think you know me because, in the past you've been in my court, not because you're in trouble at all, Joe.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Judge.
I just want to remind you, Joe, that as a judge hearing cases, I had to hear the facts of the case. I had to apply the law, and then I had to make sure that I made the best decision for the parties in the courtroom. And I take that same skill set as county judge. I need to know what the facts are. I need to know what the public understands and what they know. I've got to hear the arguments made in order to justify this big project, and then I'm going to make a decision. And so I wasn't ready for that. So I am trying to do my what's called due diligence, and I want to make sure I have all the information and I can make the best decision. And as you know, Joe, sometimes in the courtroom, 50% of the people like the decision and sometimes they don't. But so long that I make the best decision that I can make, that's how I can sleep at night.
50-50 with people agreeing on you also applies to being a talk show host.
Exactly.
It goes with the territory as we visit with Judge Peter Sakai here on the Blitz. Now, a couple of things that, with what you can share with us, the May election, it seemed like the Spurs were pushing for it. And I know it's complex, but knowing that they were pushing for a May election, and you said you weren't surprised that you didn't have all the information. They know what the timeline is. So as you're doing your due diligence, what are the key pieces of info that you need to know to help you make your decision?
Well, for one, we need to make sure what the costs are looking at, what contributions the city and the county are going to make. What contributions are the Spurs going to make? I'm expecting substantial equity that the Spurs will invest into this new arena. But more importantly, guys, I have made it very clear that I have to have a plan for the Frost Bank Center, which is our current county arena. I can't leave that hanging, so to speak, with no business plan. It has to be sustainable. It has to be viable. I've got to figure out if and when the Spurs vacate. And when that does happen, what's going to happen? I cannot allow the Frost Bank Center to become another Astrodome.
Well, Judge Sakai, it seems to me that the contract, if I understand this right, runs through 2032. So, and I know it takes some time to build a new facility, and a facility like the Spurs want. So, realistically, when you're looking at a time frame, if May's not it, when could you see this being on the ballot? Is a November time frame reachable, or will we go into next year, do you think?
No, these elections are set up by state statute, and the county, we're always going to follow the law. So the next scheduled election that could be had is November, and I'm working every day in order to try to make things work for everybody. I want to make sure that we have a deal, so to speak, that will protect the county's interests. I want to make sure that the area around the Frost Bank Center, including the Coliseum grounds and the rodeo grounds, we have sufficient investment there. We've got to look at what was promised in the past, and that was the economic development of the East Side. So I want to make sure that we have everything done, and I am working to see if on the next scheduled election by law is November. So we're working hard every day, guys, to try to make a win-win solution for everybody.
Judge Peter Sakai joining us here on the Blitz. You think about timelines, and obviously 7 years will go by like a blink of an eye. I would imagine that the urgency on the Spurs is to have forward momentum on the project when Wemby's contract, his rookie contract, is up. And so the faster he sees the new Wemby Center, is what I've been calling it, those wheels in motion, the better chances of him staying here, right? At the same time, you talk about the development on the east side, which we heard, and I know you haven't been county judge long enough. You weren't responsible then, but all of us that were here when the Alamo Dome, where they were moving out of the Alamo Dome and moving into the then SBC Center, we heard the same thing about east side development, and that hasn't happened. We had Tommy Calvert on it yesterday, and he blamed cones. The way traffic gets directed out of the venue after a game. When you look at that and you talk about east side development now, why would now be different as opposed to the last 20 years where we haven't seen that development when we heard that that was going to happen?
Well, it's because the fact that, as you indicated, things didn't happen. So we have an opportunity to make sure that the redevelopment of the east side, as it applies to the Frost Bank Center and the Coliseum grounds, we have an opportunity to use some of this venue tax money that the Spurs are asking for to look to see how we can truly integrate economic development and what is going to be the business plan of these county facilities. And that's the reason why I believe that the May election, we weren't ready to have that election until I was ready and prepared to explain to the public what my position was, because that's the other big issue. I have to take a position, and I'm not taking a position like making a decision in the courtroom, Joe, that until I have all the facts. And that's the reason why I wanted to be upfront and clear as best I could with the Spurs, understanding that what happened this past Tuesday was a discussion in executive session, which by nature is confidential, and that's the reason why it was a closed session. I needed to debrief all the colleagues of the court, and I wanted to make sure that the court will be hopefully in unanimous consent to move forward with whatever plan the county develops in regards to the Frostbank Center, to the Coliseum grounds, and to the development around that area. So we have a tremendous opportunity to make this a win-win, guys. And we can also see what we can do to help the Spurs, because there's no doubt with Wemby, we got another championship run coming, guys. And so we've got to make sure that we take care of the Spurs. The Spurs are one of the biggest philanthropic partner we have in our county, and I give them credit for that. That's the reason why I, as county judge, am willing to help the Spurs, because they are truly an important part of our community.
Yeah, Judge Sakai, I think everybody listening will agree with that statement. The Spurs very important to this community, all of us here. Have you relayed to them, however, or someone within the Commissioner's Court relayed to them that we need to see this stuff by a certain period of time? Are there deadlines like that, or will that stuff kind of trickle in and conversations will be had?
No, I think everybody understands the enormity of this issue, the complexity of this issue, and that we need this information sooner than later in order to meet the next deadline, which is the fall election in November. So I'm letting you know and letting the community know we're working hard every day, and there are expectations that this information that I am asking for is going to come in sooner or later, and if it doesn't, well, obviously I have to make another decision whether we're going to move forward with another election or not. So I think everybody understands the enormity and complexity and the urgency to get this deal done, and we want to do it the right way, guys, and that's dotting the I's and crossing the T's so that the public has full confidence in the people that are making these decisions in their behalf, and that's the county commissioners, the city council, along with the Spurs leadership.
Judge Peter Sakai here on the Blitz. A May election seems out. Tommy Calvert told us that yesterday. Are you saying that too? Like there's, even with that February 14th deadline we read in the paper the other day for a May tax election, that's not going to happen, right?
It's going to be very difficult. There's still another statutory requirement of getting approval from the state through the comptroller's office. So that's the reason why the narrow path for a May election is even more narrow than what you just stated. And so it is very highly unlikely in light of the current timeline. So that's the reason why I wanted to hopefully signal to everybody, including the public, that look, we're not probably going to make that May election, but let's work hard to try to come up with a plan that's a win-win for our community.
Well, you know, Judge Sakai, in my experience, you have been very fair. You want all the information that there is out there, and I know it's important to you to get the public's input on this. I think from the public standpoint, and we hear it from here all the time, well, another tax, another this, another that. But I think, and I'm asking you if you agree, the more open and honest and transparent this is, you think that's better for the public and they'd be more on board for any kind of project like this?
Oh, by far. I'll be honest with you guys, that's the template we did with the baseball stadium. We were very open and transparent that we were going to use the monies raised through a TERS, a tax increment reinvestment zone, that the business development, Western Urban, that is Graham Weston's development company, was going to put $1 billion of investment into that area around what we call the San Pedro Cultural Creek program. We just passed a resolution to create the governmental entity that will own the baseball stadium, that there'll be rent paid by the baseball ownership, that we will get a collection of the tickets The county will put up a garage and collect the revenue for parking in the evenings. We are creating a school for the San Antonio Independent School District and partnering with them. That's a win-win for the community, and that's the template I am using in regards to this new proposed Spurs arena. But understand, the Spurs have a great arena now. And so I've got to make sure that the Frost Bank Center stays viable, sustainable, and does not become another Astrodome.
As we visit with Judge Peter Sakai here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, it feels like, and I know, everybody involved wants to make sure they feel like they're getting a win. And that's important for each part of the county, each part of the city, and I get that. In your seat, the fact that, you're being very public right now with a lack of information, whether it was the press conference and articles that came out since, how quickly do you think the Spurs are calling you saying, hey, Judge, when can we get on your calendar? Let's sit down because we need to get you what you need.
That's already happened, guys.
I figured.
I think I got a lot of
swing
meetings
the
on the
gavel in
calendar.
it. Yes. So when is that meeting?
No, I'll be honest with you. There are discussions. I'll be honest with you. There have been staff meetings and occasion the meetings of the principals meeting. I sit down with the mayor and the city manager. I sit down with Peter John Holt and R.C. Buford and Bobby Pettis for the Spurs. We have had these discussions, and the thing is, those discussions are ongoing. There are meetings. So nobody's been sitting on their hands, guys. I will tell you, the thing is that we're still relying on staff getting figures and specifics on this. We got to make sure that our projections on whatever revenues are going to be used. I've insisted that we're not going to use homeowner property taxes that would cause a property tax increase on those homeowners. That's a no-go for me. And so there are opportunities through what we call our venue tax. That's the county tax. There's also what's called a hot tax, the hotel occupancy tax, that I believe the city is in recipient of. And so those are all the figures that we got to look at. And then obviously we can tell the Spurs what the city and the county can do in regards to whatever contributions. And then we got to get the deal done of who's going to own the property, how much money are we going to be able to get back either by rent or by whatever share of concessions, share of parking. Those are all the details that still need to be worked out, guys. So you hit it earlier. The I's need to be dotted and T's need to be crossed. And we're going to get there, and we're going to get there sooner than later.
Jessica, I appreciate you being open and honest with us and answering our questions. We appreciate it very much, and I know the people listening do as well. But I have to tell you, I am forever in your debt, sir, because you may not remember this because you do thousands of these every year. But for me, I will never forget you. Judge Sakai oversaw the adoption of my three daughters, and three of them.
I do remember, Joe Reinego. I do remember you.
And I remember that and so I know, Judge, that you are very thorough, and you ask a lot of questions, and you want a lot of information, and apparently that was all provided to your satisfaction, and you granted the adoption, and I'm forever in your debt, sir.
Hey, Joe, did all those kids become nice, responsible, and loving children to their parents?
Well, yes, sir, they did. And
yes. Okay, then everything worked out then.
And a couple of them have provided grandkids, Judge, so that's a good thing, too.
Joe Engel. Hey, Joe, you and I go back. I mean, I remember you at Ken's TV with the late and great Dan Cook, and you followed in his footsteps, and you are a legend in our community, Joe Reinego.
Well, I appreciate that, Judge, and so are you. So are you.
Well, and I'm just glad, Joe, that you brought up the adoption, all those court references that the judge made. I didn't want people out there thinking that, man, Reinego, how many times are you in front of a judge?
Exactly.
I mean, so I'm glad you clarified why you were in front of the judge.
I take no responsibility for other than that case that I heard with Joe Reinego and his children.
Oh, man. Now, Judge, I got to ask, I mean, you bring up the great Dan Cook, and you're a longtime San Antonio guy, as there is a new arena, and we know how sports work in today's world in 2025. If the deal doesn't get done, you know the Spurs, or whether they will or not, who knows, but there's always going to be that threat that they're going to move. How much does it weigh on you as the county judge that you don't want to be the guy that was the county judge when the Spurs decided to move if it came down to that? I mean, how much does that factor in? Not to say that the Spurs will bully their way into a new arena, but we know how sports teams are when it comes to getting public-financed arenas.
I'll say this, guys. The Spurs are not leaving while I'm county judge, and we're going to get a great deal for the taxpayers of Bexar County. How about that? We're going to, again, make this a win-win, and that's my guarantee as county judge.
Do you have a gavel? Do you have a gavel you can slam down real quick to end this? I think that'd be perfect. There you go.
Does that go? Is that good?
That was perfect.
Good enough for you guys?
That was perfect. That was awesome. Judge, I know we went way longer than we said we would. We certainly appreciate your time. We know how busy you are. Thank you so much. This was incredible.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Judge.
God bless y'all.
Appreciate it. Judge Peter Sakai on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
What a great guy.
A lot to digest there.
Yeah, that was a long time ago with the adoption, but I remember it like it was yesterday, and he was really great with everything. So.
Well, and clearly thorough, because I know what you went through there, but I'm glad you clarified what it was, because he made it kind of sound like there for a while. You spent too much time in front of the judge.
No, it was for good things.
Yes.
Good things, yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We went way long with the judge. We got to pay some bills. Come back with the Headline Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're locked on the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
It is playoff time. Jason Minix here from the Blitz. You know Underdog is the best place to cash in on all your takes during the playoffs. Be like me and 5 million other happy players winning money watching games with their Pick'em game, where you could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats. You can cook up fire entries for a shot to win real cash prizes all playoff long. You can even take football and basketball and mix them together. Underdog is the only Pick'em platform that puts the power to cash out in your hands. Now you can either keep riding with your entry or tap the Win Now button to cash out whenever you want. Underdog is the best place to play Pick'em. Download the app, sign up with my promo code STAR, and deposit now and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's promo code STAR. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code STAR. Sign up today.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-2706. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-2706. That's 800-575-2706. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text MAINE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text MAIN to 321-321. That's MAINE to 321-321.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors.
Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-384-3434, 800-384-3434, 800-384-3434.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
You've decided to divorce. I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you're worried about getting the bills paid, childcare, and your divorce, we'll help make it simple, painless, and affordable.
Your future matters. Call the law office of Steve Benke.
Call 210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates, all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
College football tonight. The semifinals get underway. Orange Bowl. It's 6-seeded Penn State taking on 7-seeded Notre Dame. Kickoff set for 6:30. It's a game you can catch in your home for the college football playoffs. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It all begins at 6 o'clock with the pregame show. It is being reported by the Notre Dame beat writer that a flu outbreak has hit the Irish locker room, affecting mostly backups and special teams.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Synergenicshealth.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on YouTube. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Maybe you're listening online at sasportstar.com or one of the gazillion apps. Glad to have you along on this cold, rainy Thursday afternoon. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. A lot of you guys chiming in on the interview we just had with Judge Peter Sakai. I thought he was great, informative, and what I really took out of that, Spurs are doing what they need to do now that he's kind of rattled some cages.
And as they should. And I'm happy to hear that he said that, yes, they've already come back and are having talks. So that's a good thing. Look, everybody wants to get this done. And you heard Judge Sakai. He doesn't want any issues. He wants it to be a win-win for everybody, the city, the county, and all the citizens of Bexar County. And so, yeah, I mean, it behooves everybody to move swiftly and get this thing done.
And I do think, like any kind of project, when you're dealing with politicians, everybody wants to get a piece of the victory.
Of course,
and
yeah.
So you can't have just everything going down there by hemisphere, right? What can all right, there's all this pile of money. What can we do with here? And they'll figure all that out.
Right.
They will figure all that out. You would hope, right? But I will say they will figure all that out. It's just everybody wants to feel like they're getting a win. And whether it's in a project like this or, national level, all the things that get thrown on for somebody's district or whatever. I mean, that's just the game of politics. I'm just surprised that the county judge at this point doesn't have some of the basic information. It's one thing for you and I not to have that information. You would think that the county judge would have that information.
And I think he's getting it as we speak, and he made that pretty clear. And so that was good. And he also said that the Spurs aren't going anywhere on his watch. So that's a good thing. And look, knowing Judge Sakai the way we do, he's a fair guy, but he wants the information. He wants people to know what the heck is going on, and it's important to him. And I think that's honorable. I really do. The people that are going to be paying this tax, or at least participating in the voting and making it happen, need the information that they need. And you don't want it to seem shady and behind closed doors. Get it out in the open, and let's go.
And there's another subheadline from Peter Sakai with what we just heard from the county judge. It won't be a property tax.
Yay! Thank God for that.
Yes. And again, the tourism thing, the hot tax.
I like that. The hot tax.
Well, I guess that's what it's always been called. I'm not political enough or in the news enough to remember the hotel occupancy tax, the hot tax. Yeah, hot tax it. That's yeah. I mean, put those tourism people. Sure, why not?
Yeah, they're coming anyway. I mean, and again, you go on vacation and you're paying taxes out the ying, right?
Yes.
So
yes. There's a hot box joke in there somewhere.
There's got to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's all right because, when you're going somewhere, you're probably enjoying something that you help pay for and, provided all the jobs. It will be interesting to see, and I can promise you this, we'll keep you up to date on as things progress or don't. Bottom line, and go from there. But I'm appreciative of the county judge making time and Tommy Calvert yesterday, a county commissioner, making time because – we're not a news station. We're a sports station. So a lot of times, when they're thinking about, well, where do we need to get the word out? But I think they're realizing, and Judge Peter Sakai said that as much. Our audience is pretty valuable, and we all have a vote, too.
We all have a vote, too, and the audience is growing, and that's evident by some of the things that we see. And we appreciate y'all listening very much. And but we need to get the info out there, and this is a very important audience. So I have a feeling it's not the last time. It was the first time for Judge Sakai. I have a feeling it won't be the last.
And you think about we're coming up on 17 years here on this radio station. Nelson Wolf was on here a lot. Typically, when he needed to get a message out. We will have that relationship with Peter Sakai.
No doubt.
I can promise you that.
No doubt about it.
Let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
You know how it's easy to puff your chest out and say, yeah, we wanted him, knowing it can't happen?
Absolutely.
That was Travis Kelce on his New Heights podcast with his brother Jason talking about, yeah, we wanted Cincinnati in the postseason.
Well, there's some people alleging that it was a purposeful letting get your ass
I ain't
kicked.
scared of nobody.
I'm not alleging this.
I wanted them in the playoffs.
I'm not alleging this.
I want to slay every dragon one by one, like Mortal Kombat. I don't even want this to be like we play the lowest seed. Just give me the best teams.
I'm not, Travis. I'm just telling you what
AFC,
people are
NFC.
saying.
Give
I'm
me
not
all of
saying
them,
this.
Mortal Kombat style. I'll go through every one of them, just giving them my best effort. I ain't scared of a single soul, man.
You didn't want to see the Bengals in Burrowhead or in Cincinnati.
I'll play them at the Walmart parking lot. I don't give a We can have our own game in the offseason where we really duke it out again. Listen, I love competing against the greatest. The Bengals were a fun-ass team to watch there towards the end of the season.
And I'm certainly glad they're not in the postseason is what he should have said there.
Dude, and you know, there's even a feud that some Cincinnati Bengal players were really upset with what took place between Denver and Kansas City that final game. But look, I said I've got no sympathy for Cincinnati. If you're relying on somebody else to beat somebody else to get you in the playoffs, then the hell with you. That's too bad. But having said that, nobody wanted to face Cincinnati in the playoffs. I'll promise you that. They were the hottest team in football at the end of the season.
And again, that's what makes all the playoffs fun. It's easy to say, I want the toughest road. Whoever's in front of me, let's go play them. That's easy to say, and I think we all feel that way until you look at the road and you go, that road looks pretty damn easy right there. Let's go there. Because ultimately, if you get to the Super Bowl and win it, it doesn't matter who was there. But nobody truly chooses the hardest path if they have to.
I just love the way Jason Kelsey kind of poked the bear there with the burrow head.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't scared of nobody.
That was hilarious.
So we know the Chiefs have home field advantage throughout, and they have a couple of new items, or at least one new item, at their concession stand for the playoffs.
And dude, they're touting this as something good. Now you tell me if you're going to go and pay $25 for a loaf of bread soaked in eggs, custard, milk, and heavy cream, served with vanilla ice cream, berry sauce, strawberries, and powdered sugar.
Well, what kind of bread?
Does it matter?
Well, sure. It could be just regular white bread. It could be sourdough bread.
It's
it could
not
be
regular white bread.
Could be Texas toast. I mean, it sounds like they're selling a $25 strawberry shortcake version. That's exactly what that sounds like.
So let's go in minus 20-degree weather and eat a sundae. Who the hell wants to do that? Why don't they get a nice big hot dog or a big, triple-layer cheeseburger or something?
Well, they already have that.
Well, I'm just saying.
I mean, this is touchdown toast, Joe.
I just saw this and it was like, oh, the Chiefs unveiled this great new item. I'm going, oh, okay, I'm interested. I go, it's a loaf of bread.
Well, but with ice cream. It has ice cream. And, I mean, when you see the picture of it, it's not even a lot of ice cream. It's a scoop that's on top of the loaf, and it's not even really a full loaf. It looks like a quarter loaf when you look at the picture.
It's $25 for a loaf of bread and a scoop of ice cream.
But it's like, I don't know, angel food bread.
Dude, would you order that, Minix?
I mean.
No is the answer.
I mean. No.
No.
I mean, not at a game. I wouldn't.
Now, those Kansas City types, are they into bread with ice cream on top?
Apparently, you've never been to Kansas City.
I've never been to Kansas City, no.
It's a barbecue town. I would say no, but I would say that, one, the bread can feed a family of 4. The ice cream could feed 1.
Exactly.
So you got to tell your kids, do you want strawberry or you want ice cream? You don't get both. That's a whole lot of bread.
And then you're going to take that back to your seat. How the hell's everybody going to eat it?
Well, with a fork or a spoon.
Somebody's going to have to hold that on their lap. I'm not doing it.
That's what mom is for, right? Let's be honest, the mom. But at the same, or if you're in the suite. But at least you know the ice cream isn't going to melt. They're in the playoffs in Kansas City.
Well, I was just a little pissed off. I'll be honest with you.
You were pissed off.
The headline of this, the Chiefs are adding a fantastic new food item for the playoffs. I'm like, well, that's really cool. Good for them. They go in there, it's a loaf of bread.
Well, it's French toast. I mean, the idea of, How do they tout it? Hey, man, we're adding a $25 loaf of bread if you're interested. No, they got to tout it as they're trying to sell. It's great, Joe.
It's called touchdown toast.
Yes, we've said that.
Touchdown toast.
And they don't even put, like, chocolate syrup on the ice cream. Oh, is there?
Well, there's powdered sugar, there's berry sauce, there's strawberries. Heavy cream and custard.
Well, that's in the bread. But the ice cream is what I'm worried about.
No, it's soaked in eggs, custard, milk, and heavy cream.
It looks like they put the ice cream in a pool of chocolate syrup. You know, it's almost like at over off Fredericksburg, Tip Top Cafe, where they serve the chicken fried steak in a boat of gravy. The ice cream is in it's a dollop. Instead of the chocolate sauce over the ice cream, it's under it, which seems dumb.
Well, congratulations, Chiefs fan. You're going to have a loaf of bread with ice cream on top to make you feel better about yourself.
How do you get this grumpy over dessert?
That's not what I envision when I go to a football game. A loaf of bread with ice cream on top.
It's called elevated food, sir.
Well,
and there are some people that want that.
Who at a football game?
I'd imagine Taylor Swift will have 2 of those.
Jeez.
Although, you know what? When I really see
Goes
that,
right to your hips, Taylor. Don't do it.
Or do it. Depending on your preference. Now, the other part is I see that big old loaf of bread, and you know that will just expand in your belly. That would fill you up. I wouldn't want to eat that because I want to be able to drink more beer.
Well, yes.
Yeah, but the kids are going to love that.
The kids.
Yeah.
Leave the kids at home. You go to a football game, go have some fun. Set them up with their iPad and let them watch Blue's Clues all day.
God, man, take them to the game. I mean, you could have breakfast for dinner at the football game for $25. Sounds crazy. You know what else is crazy? This was on Barstool, but there's photos.
There's video of this.
In videos, yes. Apparently, and I'm glad this is in Indonesia because we're going to be in Louisiana in a month for the Super Bowl. And apparently Louisiana crocodiles haven't figured this out yet.
They're a little
But
slow.
crocodiles in Indonesia have apparently learned how to pretend to be drowning humans in order to have people jump in to save them so they can have lunch. So, and there's video of this on Barstool.
It looks like somebody's drowning.
They put their little hands up in the air, and they're underwater, and people jump in to save them, and they get eaten.
It's like all up here like that, and people think it's somebody, a person. They jump in to help that person, and their dinner.
Yeah. Because they don't get that $25 breakfast for dinner loaf of bread thing in Kansas City. But these are only crocodiles in Indonesia. No other crocodile has figured this out yet.
That's pretty incredible and scary at the same time because
dude, it's scary.
It's like
it's all scary.
It's like we're walking down the waterway and there's somebody drowning and minutes go save them. You never come back. I think everybody else.
You wouldn't just jump in the water and save them?
I'd push you in to go save them.
I mean, so we'll be in New Orleans in about a month for the Super Bowl.
Yes.
I saw a video one time. It was very educational, and you need to know this as we're about to go to Louisiana.
I can't wait.
It said, how do you know if there are crocodiles in the water in Louisiana? And the lady goes up barely to the edge, and she taps it. And she said, the water's wet, there's alligators. And now you could have crocodiles pretending they're humans that are drowning. And if it happened once, you would go, oh, okay. But apparently it's happening a lot.
Yeah, apparently it is. Now, people in Indonesia need to get a little educated that, unfortunately, is somebody going to be real drowning out there, and they're going to that's a damn crocodile.
Look, I mean, if you think you're drowning, you are drowning. There's crocodiles in that water. You're going to be dead anyway. It was nice knowing you. I'm not going to save you.
Goodness gracious. The evolution of some of these critters.
As long as they stay in Indonesia and don't come here, we're good.
Well, you don't think they're calling their relatives in Louisiana?
No.
Saying, hey, we got this great deal.
The good news is people that are actually from Louisiana, you can't understand them, so I'm going to assume that works with crocodiles too.
I would assume so. Woo!
Man.
Crazy stuff.
I used to go on a radio show, the ESPN affiliate in Shreveport, and talking Spurs. And honestly, I couldn't understand the dude that was on the air. I mean, whatever Cajun he was talking, I had no idea half the time. I would bits and pieces of answering his questions, talking about the Spurs in their heyday.
It's crazy. The accent is different.
It was, that's another world, man. So you're not going to jump in and save somebody we're in Louisiana?
No, I'm not. Would you jump into a swamp in Louisiana?
If you were drowning, sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. You say, here, there's a lily pad. Get on that.
A lily pad. A lily pad.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of those. I just keep them handy.
They throw me a loaf of bread with a scoop of ice cream on it.
I mean, if good Lord. It's been nice knowing you, Toe Reinagel.
I ain't dipping my toes in that stuff, I promise you.
You say that now.
New Orleans, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared.
So where one of the parties is going to be, there's a good chance you get wet.
Really? We're already making party plans, huh?
Nice. Priorities, my friend.
Well, yeah, that's good. Just want to know where the cigar party is.
We're going.
All right, good.
That's secure. Let's talk about tonight's Orange Bowl. Notre Dame and Penn State. We'll dive into that coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's showtime. Let's do it. It's fun time. Here we go.
South Texas home of the 12-team college football playoff is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. All of the matchups are brought to you by Ewald Kubota, the Break Room Bar, and Smoky Mo's Barbecue. Hear every game on South Texas' first and only FM sports station. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson for Prize Picks, the best place to get real money on your sports action. Me and 10 million other people are playing every day, and now's the time to do it. Have you ever heard of this? You've got a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. You can run your season all game long, and now 1,000 times your cash. Heck, I've been a Prize Picks player for a long time. I've not seen this. 1,000 times your cash. It's playoff time. It's now or never. Don't miss out on the fun in the last few weeks of the football season. Prize Picks is the best place to play, up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get the action on the sports that you're playing, and now you can get up to 1,000 times your cash. Join over 10 million members. Play today. And if you sign up today, you get up to $50 instantly when you play. Use the code ALAMO. Sign up today for 1,000 times your cash. Prize Picks. Run your game.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Scott, you've got a question about radio stations?
Yes, I do. Back in the 80s, when JD and I guess Bobo were doing radios, why did stations sound so different, like in a car or something? Were they compressed or something like that?
Bob? Cocaine.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back. I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
I'm Nicole Chrysler, healthcare provider at Revive Men's Health. If you are always feeling tired or moody, have a difficult time sleeping, or decreased libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health San Antonio at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know, our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 as San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. The Orange Bowl tonight, Penn State, Notre Dame. You can listen to the game here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star starting at 6 o'clock. Our bowl coverage brought to you by the Break Room Bar in Live Oak, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, and Ewald Kubota. Tomorrow is the Cotton Bowl. You can listen to that game here or come hang out with us over at Popstroke on I-10 near 1604. Our friends from Flight by Yingling will be there for a special Flight Friday. Lots of Yingling prizes. Popstroke looks incredible. Cannot wait to be out there.
I can't wait to get out there. And look, the weather's going to improve. Come on out there. It's Friday. Yeah, they've got covered bars.
They got 3 bars out there.
Yeah.
3.
They have heaters.
And we'll be inside.
Yes.
Yes.
But come on out with us and start your day, because I promise you come out there, pretty good, just from past experience, that you will get some free beer.
Yes, that you will get.
And really good stuff.
You look at the it's interesting when you kind of look at the 2 games left. You've got one game that looks like it could be a high-scoring shootout, and then you've got tonight's Orange Bowl, which probably is not going to be a high-scoring shootout. I mean, when you look at the 4 quarterbacks left, Quinn Ewers would probably be number 1, Will Howard 2. I'd rank Drew Aller 3, and then Riley Leonard 4. So you've got the quarterbacks 3 and 4 if you're ranking quarterbacks that are left playing tonight, and then the top 2 quarterbacks going against each other tomorrow. It's which quarterback do you trust, which coach do you trust in these big game situations?
Well, it's interesting. I don't trust your number 1 quarterback for,
I know
that.
You don't.
I wouldn't. I don't know if I would put him number 1. But
of the 4 quarterbacks left?
I'm not sure that I would.
Okay.
I mean, think about it.
All right.
Quinn Ewers?
I gave my rankings thinking it was pretty obvious.
I like this guy for Penn State. Is Aller?
Drew Aller?
Yeah, I like him. I think he's good. And the kid from Notre Dame is good, too. So, look, this I don't know what the hell is.
Riley Leonard was at Duke forever.
Yeah. Well, now he's at Notre Dame.
And now he's at Notre Dame.
Uh-huh. I think it's going to be a good football game. And, again, the one thing that Notre Dame's got to worry about, and this is a real thing because their beat reporter is reporting it, there's a flu outbreak in their locker room. Now, he claims that it's not affecting any of the starters, but still, I mean, that could be an issue for Notre Dame tonight.
Yes, and that's obviously a concern. And you wonder about the rest and the preparation factor, too, because you have Penn State. Remember, they played New Year's Eve against Boise State, and because of what happened in New Orleans, Notre Dame was delayed almost a day. So it is interesting when you look at prep, travel time, and then you add in illness. If it's not affecting the starters, all right, and he says backup players, how deep on the bench and at what positions, a flu outbreak, what all can they get them to make sure they get through the game? I mean, I imagine a lot of hydration.
Yeah.
That could be an issue. The weather at the Orange Bowl looks incredible. They keep showing on television the sky shots, and that field just looks spectacular. The field has national championship vibes to it, just the way it looks, the way it's painted. The weather won't be an issue. And you're watching this saying, man, the football gods didn't have the Rose Bowl as one of the quarterfinal games with everything going on right now in California, because could you imagine what they're dealing with if that were going to be the case? And obviously the sports in the L.A. area, including a game or two involving the Spurs, could be postponed, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But it is like the perfect scenario in Miami. In Dallas, there's snow on the ground, although tomorrow's forecast in Dallas for the Cotton Bowl looks far better. Now, the players were going to be fine, but fans getting there and everything else around it looks like North Texas certainly dodged a bullet with the weather not being near as severe as originally forecasted about a week ago.
Yeah, I think everybody's going to be fine. And look, it's a playoff game, right? A semifinal game. I think if you're Ohio State, Texas, you're not going to let a little bad weather ruin your time. There may not be as many people there as would have been if the weather would have been great, but this is a great game, and to me is the best matchup. And I'm talking about Ohio State and Texas tomorrow night. So, I mean, if I had a choice to go to either one, you want to go to that. And look, if you're an Ohio State fan, you're coming because you got to believe that Ohio State right now, as hot as they have been playing, has got a really good shot at winning the national championship. And Texas fans got to feel the same way. So I'm not worried about attendance there. I'm not worried about the weather. People will find a way to get there, and it will be okay. As far as tonight goes, I think it's going to be a slugfest, a defensive slugfest. I really do. I don't see a lot of scoring in this game. And, I mean, because typically that's not Penn State's MO.
No.
Right? It's not. So, I think both of these games have the potential to be really good and come right down to the wire.
I haven't looked in the last couple of days. What's the over-under on tonight's game?
45.
Under?
Yeah, exactly. And that seems to be the popular bet. But the line is fluctuated from pick'em to now, when I looked just a few minutes ago, Notre Dame was -1.
It's interesting because when you look at a game like this, what quarterback do I trust more? What coach do I trust more? And both of those, coaching, I lean Notre Dame. Quarterback, I lean Penn State.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Again, this is going to be a close game. I don't see a blowout either way tonight. Tomorrow, who knows? I don't see it there either.
That's tomorrow's show, Joe. Yeah.
Well, we're talking college football playoffs.
I know. It's going to be wild.
So we'll make our picks coming up.
No, we will. That we will do. We will do. Coming up also, I mean, Saturday, you have the Navy All-American Bowl, and you look at Drew Aller was in this game a couple of years ago. A lot of guys that are in the Final Four played in the Alamo Dome in the All-American Bowl. That will be followed by the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game presented by Valero. We'll talk about that coming up. Harlan head coach Eddie Salas joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro, especially if you need winter gear. You showed up for work today and say, man, I wish I had a jacket with my logo on it. You can get that. Go see Sam. Need your logo on a jacket, a coat, half zip, hoodie, beanie, all the winter gear is on display right now in that massive showroom that Sammy has there on San Pedro. And he's got all the big name brands, Under Armour, North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority, to name a few. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from. And if you need caps, man, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom. And all the popular cap brands as well. Katie Caps, Nike, Cap America, the Richardson 112 style trucker caps in stock. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices, and Sam is the only company in Texas that offers one-day turnaround. No order too big, no order too small, and all items do come with a warranty. So call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or better yet, get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro. It's about a mile inside Loop 410, next to the Big Lots right there across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday on the Morning Huddle, we've got one team in the national championship game. Will Texas or Ohio State be joining them?
That's not the only playoffs on the docket. We got NFL coming our direction, too. Going to be a busy Friday. Get here quick. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hey, Manny Jr. here with Rock's Discount Vitamins. This holiday season, don't let those extra pounds sneak up on you. We have the largest selection of weight control products to help you stay on track. Boost your metabolism with our non-stimulant fat burners, or try Cuts, which helps your carbs work for you, not against you. With 12 locations across San Antonio, Rock's Discount Vitamins has everything you need to keep your diet in check this holiday season. Find us at rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for your continued support.
When you are just craving something salty and packs a crunch, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds is your crunch time decision. Game day just got a whole lot crunchier thanks to the powerhouse snack, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. We're talking about crispy, golden bites of pure awesomeness. Pork rinds are your MVP snack. And get this, they're low carb and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at H-E-B today. Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now, sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first. On your timeline, no waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades at no upfront cost. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first, sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
At Round Table Pizza, we believe in the craft of making great pizza. Inspired by the honor, valor, and revelry of the Knights of the Round Table, our superior pizza and commitment to quality and authenticity have earned the reputation of pizza royalty for over 60 years. Round Table Pizza's signature ingredients, like our made-from-scratch dough, 3-cheese blend, and toppings all the way to the edge, create your perfect pizza. Our tradition of quality reigns king. To find your nearest location or to order for pickup or delivery, head to roundtablepizza.com.
Febreze. So my home is also my office, and before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day. Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Along with Joe Reinagel, I'm G. Semenik. Saturday is going to be a fun day, a long day for me. We get the Navy All-American Bowl starting at noon, and then the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game presented by Valero will kick off just after 5. You can listen to both of those games here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. And it's always fun with the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game because you get the kids from San Antonio competing, Team Blue versus Team White. Team Blue head coach is from Harlan High School, Eddie Salas, who joins us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. And, Coach, I know you had an incredible season, but you start working together with all these All-Stars. What's it like for you to try to put together a game plan, if you will, inside of a week and then go play a game in the Dome on Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, what a task, right? I was watching a cooking show the other day on, where they give you like 10 minutes to cook a whole meal, right? And, somebody gets the prize after that. And I feel just like that, just the organization of it, trying to get it, different kids. You're trying to figure out their names on Monday and Tuesday, and then put enough stuff to help you be successful, but, enough that they could understand and pick up in a short time. And so crazy task, but it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Coach Salas, I got to believe, though, whatever recipe you're cooking, the ingredients are pretty damn good. I mean, you've got the best. You've got the best of the best in San Antonio that you get to coach, and that in itself, and just seeing the talent, and obviously you know this, the talent that we have in the San Antonio area is just really underrated in my mind.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've had a couple of college coaches come out to our field just this week to watch the kids, and I can tell you right now, just we have a lot of talent in San Antonio. This is a great stop for colleges to come and recruit these kids, and I think that San Antonio All-Star is a great event for that to occur as well. Really, really good kids. It's fun being able to tell a player one thing and they register it real quick and go with it, and so very smart, very quick learning kids, high football IQ I've seen all week, and then just the intensity, their competitiveness every day is amazing.
You know what I'm hearing is that selection committee did a hell of a job for you, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, I wish that offensive line that's there we could have it Harlan year in and year out, because they're big, they're strong, they're smart, and they go hard, and it's pretty neat to watch those big boys play.
Coach Salas, I got to ask you, though, when you're game planning and your coaching staff and you're putting in plays for the offense, I have to imagine that you're doing some things that you probably wouldn't do during a regular season of a Harlan football game, maybe just letting the kids have some fun?
Yeah, absolutely. At first you got to start what's possible, right? Before you do the impossible. So we definitely trying to look at the talent we have and use it correctly, to our advantage on there and have fun with the kids. All week I've gone walking around just talking to offensive guys, defensive guys, and trying to get to know them as much as I can, because at the end of the day, this is also a relationship thing, right? I want the players on our team to walk out and say, man, we had a great experience, learned something along the way. But the biggest thing is something they'll remember forever, playing in an all-star game and being coached by a great staff that cares about them and is going to keep up with them in the future.
Harlan Coach Eddie Salas joining us here on the Blitz. He's coaching Team Blue Saturday in the annual San Antonio Sports All-Star Game presented by Valero. Now, you mentioned, Coach, early in the week you start learning players' names. And one of the great traditions of the All-Star Game is probably one of the biggest pains for the radio guy like me because, I could look out and I could see, okay, I know, your running back, Harlan, just helmet, I'm going to see that. I know who he is. Until you guys start trading all the decals and they show up and they look like they're from NASCAR, how much is that going to screw you up on Saturday when everybody trades all the helmet stickers and what you saw early in the week isn't there anymore?
You know what? It's funny you say that, but I thought about it because I just went, man, they don't even have their jersey numbers on, right? So, I think I'm going to be, hey, who's that? But I think once you see the kids' faces or just the way they move, right, you know who they are. And so we're just going to run with it, man. This is new to me too, and new to our staff. But I think it's we get to the game. I think we're going to figure out who they are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, no doubt. And how much fun for you. And I would imagine Coach Rogers from Piper High School is coaching the white team. And I'm just curious, Coach, is there any, friendly trash talking between you two guys?
No. I don't know him that well. I think we met a couple of times for the All-Star Game, but I don't know him that personal. If it was anybody else, I probably would, right? In a fun way.
Well, all right, that leads to a good question. I've been doing this game for a long time, and I get a lot of coaches, before the game, they're in great moods, very different than, say, a normal Friday night game week, right? And then you get the competitor is, I mean, the intensity level, because you're a coach and it's a game and we're going to go play to win. I'm thinking of Coach Hendricks from last year. I mean, the intensity. How do you think you're going to be on Saturday?
I tell myself all week that I'm going to enjoy the game, get out there and, have fun with the kids and do all that. But, there's that other side that once the scoreboard is up there, you definitely want your score to be higher, at the end of the fourth quarter. So I think that competitiveness in me and my staff will still come out at one point, or we'll come out on there. But, the goal right now is to, go out there and have a good time and put our kids in the best possible, places we can in a very short time.
Well, Coach Salas, that's a great point for you and your coaching staff. But I would imagine the kids that you're coaching and then the kids from the white team as well. I mean, once that fourth quarter rolls around and you're looking at that scoreboard and it's a close game, it's like,
on.
Hey, we're here to win this thing.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think that's what it is. Watching the kids practice all week, we're all competitors. You know what I'm saying? And, at the end of the day, we all want to win, and we're going to do everything possible to do it, with our players. And here we go, man. We're going to lace them up and see where we got, right?
How many trick plays have you guys perfected? Coach Rogers isn't listening, I promise.
Yeah, here's the deal. I think the trick play part is for us not to trick ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
You got to line up right?
Yeah, line up right first.
All right. Now, happens every year. There's a left tackle or a defensive lineman that wants to be a running back, a left tackle that wants to throw the ball. How much politicking from these players are there for them to get to do something they wouldn't normally get to do?
I've had one, I think, because, some guys go both ways on their campus, So I know I had one asking, I'll go, man, we got too many other guys on that side of the ball right now, But yeah, I think if we've had the kids for another week, they would definitely be a lot more comfortable and probably politicking the way to play everything,
Oh, wait till Saturday.
Yeah.
Wait till which one is and I don't mean to put you on the spot like this, but who has really surprised you either with the politicking or, holy crap, man, I wish I had this at Harlan?
I'll tell you what, there's quite a few kids I wish I had, but, the O-line there is just, I mean, wow, you got a few kids in there that just playing really well. The kid from Bernie Bay's a defensive lineman, he's special. He comes off the edge and just looks, really, really good doing it. You got a couple of guys from John Jay from our district too on the D line that just fire out and do some great things. I tell you what, I like the safety from Brennan, which him and I were talking the other day, and I said, man, I am so glad that I don't have to face you anymore. But he's done a great job. With all his years there and stuff. Dylan Avalos, and so Dylan's the D lineman on there, and he's done a great job. And then, like I said, there's just different kids in there that stand out. I think Mackey at quarterback, and also Gibby Alvarado in there. They're both explosive, in different ways. But I'm gonna tell you, I like having quarterbacks that when the lights turn on and something goes wrong with a play call, that they make coaches look really good, and both quarterbacks we got are definitely that type of guy.
Well, you mentioned Gibby Alvarado, the idea he came from Holy Cross and put up incredible numbers, but where he went to high school, the talent he faced isn't like what he's going to play. Is it been fun for him to say, show up this week and say, yeah, I can compete at this level with this group of guys?
Yeah. I tell you, I look at all the kids that play in some lower classifications just to see how they adapt. But he's done fine. I mean, he's pulled the ball and gone through between tackles and looked like $1 million doing it. So I think this week the speed of the game is obviously very, very quick and very fast, and I think Gibby's done a good job of adapting to that. Obviously the throws got to come out a lot quicker. And so, yeah, I mean, he's done a great job with that.
Coach, I'm just curious, with all the talent that you've just mentioned, how do you determine playing time? Is there a formula that you use, or do you just go with the flow of the game? How do you guys do that?
We start off with the goal, right? Like, we want to get them all in there and watch. When you get kids, and I'll say this, even in our regular season, as we start the season, we have our kids we're really high on. So obviously we've watched enough huddle highlight films from certain kids, and they look, where we can see what they do well. But, there's those kids that when the lights turn on, they just play different than they practice, and one way or another. And so for us, I want to see all the kids get some time in there and see where we're at. If somebody gets really hot, well, man, obviously we want to make sure that person's still in there, creating, whether it's on offense or defense, for our team.
It's going to be a fun time Saturday. The San Antonio Sports All-Star Game presented by Valero after the Navy All-American Bowl. Harlan head coach Eddie Salas from Team Blue. Appreciate you jumping on. I know, end of year to take this on an honor, but also it's a lot of work to get done because, like you said, you got a game plan and your name is on it. So, you got to try to get the most out of this week, not only for your staff, but for your players as well and those that are going to the game. Appreciate you doing that and jumping on with us this afternoon.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all calling.
Appreciate it. Eddie Salas, head coach at Harlan High School, on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. Again, 2 games Saturday, 1 ticket, $15 gets you both games. It's always a lot of fun, and if you're not there, listen to it here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I just find we talk about this, and it's a fun game, and you want to play and have some fun and let the kids. It's their final high school experience, right? I mean, and at the biggest level. But those coaches, they had a lot to juggle during 4 quarters of that football game.
The playing time. So on the selection committee, we used to have 3, 4, 5 quarterbacks. We got rid of that because they weren't getting enough playing time or getting in the rhythm. But what we do on the committee is, coaches tell us what they need position-wise. How many defensive linemen? How many wide receivers? How many offensive linemen? Can a guy play guard and center because injuries and different things happen? And then you put together the rosters, and you got 2A guys, you got private school guys. It's not all 6A, and it's always fun when you see those guys from a 2A or 3A. Some kid from Poth or Devine is always just going to dominate, and you go, who the hell is that, right?
Yeah.
Playing against the big boys from a Brennan or a Reagan or a Judson or Steele, and it's just always a blast.
Well, they got something to prove, as we talked about. I mean, those guys want to come in and show that, yeah, I was a star at Poth or Holy Cross or wherever, but you know what? I can play with those guys from Judson and Brennan and Harlan, and I'm just as good as they are.
And you look at the All-American Bowl this year. Man, there's a lot of San Antonio kids playing in this national all-star game that have earned their way in.
Yeah.
And, a couple because of injuries have gotten added, like Cade Spradling, who was at Smithson Valley as their quarterback and linebacker. Larry Hill from Smithson Valley is coaching the West team, and he was able to bring Cade along. So one more game for Cade and for Coach Hill together. But, Cade's going to be in there, and there's a linebacker. And I know he's been getting some offers, including one from UTSA, some interest there. But playing in a game like this, whether it's the All-American Bowl or the San Antonio game, the number of college scouts that are there and watching guys that get offers from this game, whether it's like Coach was saying, these scouts are watching practice. They've been at practice all week, or they will be, or at the game. You look at Mark Soto, the head coach at Judson, actually was going to join the Navy, but got a scholarship offer immediately after the game when he played in it 1,000 years ago. Sorry, Coach. And that changed his whole life.
Yeah.
Because he went to college and then became a coach instead of going the service route. But at the end of the high school season, he had 0 offers. He had, his option was the military until this game, which is what this game has done. I think this is the 47th year of the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game.
You been doing all of them?
No, I have not.
Obviously, you're old enough.
Not quite old enough. I wasn't in diapers with a microphone calling this game, but man, I'd have to go back and count how many I've done. I might have done half of them.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's on TV or radio, but probably 20, give or take.
Nice. Well, listen to the game right here on 94.1. You can hear Minix calling the action. Both games, right? Or
both games.
Both games are here.
The All-American Bowl, I'll be doing the game this year with a guy named Tom Loy. So if you're into college recruiting and experts, he's one of those big dogs at 247 Sports. And those guys, between Tom and Cooper Patanga and Brandon Huffman and Andrew Ivins, I mean, they like, oh, yeah, this guy here, he's from wherever, and, he has 3 chickens and 4 eggs every morning for breakfast. He doesn't like the green Fruit Loops. I mean, it's just amazing everything that they know about these players. That's always incredible. I just tee it up for 3 hours and let them do their thing. The night game, it will be Danny Close, Nick Solis, and myself. And
that'll be crazy in itself.
Exactly. Of course, Danny coached in this game. He was a coach of the All-Star game one year and always has had players until he retired. But, so that'll be fun. It'll be a fun, long but fun Saturday.
Absolutely. Tune in. Listen to old Minix.
Mm-hmm. Going to be a lot of fun. And, keeping an eye on that Texans game.
You won't have to keep an eye on it too long.
I don't know. Let's talk about it. Well, I'll have Pledge in my ear the whole time. Yeah. I'll hear lots of bad words in my ear that you can't say on radio.
I just got a signal there. I don't know what that means.
Birds
from
up.
Pledge. Is that what it is?
That was birds up.
Yeah, that was just one bird.
I know, channeling his inner Jeff Traylor. God bless birds up. It's the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding 1604 with the Blitz.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
In lieu of flowers, donate to Dogs That Care.
There's somebody somewhere putting together a website right now, Dog That Cares.
Have you ever escaped the backyard, gone over to the neighbor's place, and killed every chicken they had? I have. I'm a dog who cares.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Guys, Carbach has something for everybody. If you like an IPA, try the Hopadillo. If you're looking for something light, crisp, refreshing, go with the Love Street Blonde. They've got Ziegenbach as well. There's something for everybody's palate, and it's available all over San Antonio. Next time you're in a bar or restaurant, ask them for a Carbach.
George gets justice.
No amount of money can make up for a life-changing injury. I'm George Salinas, and at George Salinas Injury Lawyers, our team of attorneys will fight to get you the maximum compensation because we prepare and we care. So if you've been injured in an accident, get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-282-7766. That's 800-282-7766. 800-282-7766.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Find your purpose. Find your why. At the Y, you'll find more than just a place to work out. With opportunities to connect with neighbors and give back to your community, you'll also discover a greater sense of purpose. Join the Y January 6th through the 11th for Wellness Week at any Greater San Antonio YMCA location. Learn more at ymcasatx.org.
Guys, if you're not feeling like yourself, testosterone therapy may be the answer. Look for the VIP treatment you'll get with the experts at Synergenics Testosterone Weight Loss. Synergenics has over a decade of TRT experience. Book your appointment at synergenicshealth.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Well, family, this new year is off to a great start. Everybody, how are those New Year's resolutions?
Dear, my resolution is to cut my damaged hair and just start over.
Dad, my resolution is to take better care of my skin. It's so dry. Ew.
Pops, my New Year's resolution is to work out at the gym. Go up and drink a gallon of bottled water every day.
My resolution is to take up skydiving.
Mom, you're 96.
Don't you make me get it.
Family, my resolution is to replace all our appliances that have been destroyed over the years by hard water.
Sounds like your family needs to start the new year off with installing a Connecticut water system and get a head start on all those resolutions.
This guy's making sense.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. Offer ends soon. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country.
The last water softener you'll ever own. ConnecticutSA.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Spurs are scheduled to take on the Lakers on Saturday night. May or may not happen. I say that because today the NBA postponed the Lakers-Hornets game at Crypto Arena due to the raging wildfires across the L.A. area. Also, it's being reported that Lakers head coach J.J. Redick has lost his home in those fires. NFL continues to monitor the situation in Southern California as it pertains to Monday's game between the Vikings and the Rams.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Cold, rainy Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, that 30 seconds goes by in a hurry. So can I just finish that real quick?
Yes.
The Vikings and the Rams can't play at SoFi. They're going to move to Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Joe Reinagle for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
With a perfectly teed up, that's what she said joke.
Exactly.
You know,
you in yet?
Can we send some of this rain to L.A.? They need it. Devastating with what's going on there. And, you know I've been texting with my cousin back and forth. He lives in the Grove area. Good friends like Eric Messersmith who are in Santa Monica. So many of us know people that live in L.A. And L.A. is obviously a massive region, but you keep saying, like that fire that popped up last night in the Hollywood Hills.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just devastating and still at 0% containment. And so the genuine concern is there, and I want to set it up that way because yesterday I saw a story after our show was over that kind of pissed me off when it came to these fires. And now there's an update from TMZ on this. Everybody in Los Angeles is dealing with this,
yes,
right?
Yes, they are.
In the sports world, everybody that plays for a pro sports team out there is dealing with this, right? Now, I don't want to pile on Kawhi Leonard because he's Kawhi Leonard, but from all the different stories that we've heard, whether it's LA Kings hockey, they've had a game postponed. The Lakers, they got the Spurs coming up, and they've had a game postponed. The Rams getting ready for a game. The Chargers getting ready for a game. We haven't heard not one athlete say, Coach, I can't come to work. I got to go take care of my family, except one, and his name is Kawhi Leonard. And I don't want to sound like I'm piling on because this guy always seems to be trying to figure out how to get out of work, but the update from TMZ, Kawhi Leonard is one of the lucky ones. His home untouched by the fires in the Palisades.
So, well, that's good news, and I'm happy to hear that. But I hope that he's back at work now.
Well, see, TMZ Sports, they obtained a photo of Leonard's home. Some ash layering the mansion, seemingly unharmed. We're told as of Thursday it remains the same. Huge sigh of relief for him, as others in the area were less fortunate, including Lakers head coach J.J. Redick, whose Palisades house was lost due to the fires.
Yep.
Leonard stepped away from the Clippers to be with his family as they evacuated this week. And the NBA champ got full support from his team, including head coach Tyronn Lue. No timetable for Leonard's return to the court, though. He did make his season debut on Saturday after recovering from knee injury. He's appeared in 2 games this year.
Wow, he's overworked. That poor guy, 2 games.
I mean,
oh my God.
Phrasing.
No, again, it's that dude, right? Like every athlete, every one of his teammates probably has concern.
Of course they do.
And nobody wants to see their house obviously get burned to the ground. I mean, Olympic swimmer Gary Hall, his house gone, all of his medals, everything that he's ever won, gone. And you understand how devastating fires are. But you look at a guy like Kawhi Leonard, with the resources that he has, they can easily get somewhere else. But does he have to be there? Like every one of these players are dealing with the same kind of distraction, but according to all the reports, only one guy has stepped away from the team, and it seems to be the guy that's always not wanting to go to work.
Well, I tell you what, and at some point in time, the Clippers are going to have to put their foot down, and obviously they're either afraid of the guy or they've invested too much money in him and they don't want to tell him no, and they're going to let him do whatever he wants to do. But until a team says no, you can't do that. We're paying you $1 bazillion, and I'm sorry. Take care of your family. Make sure that they're taken care of, and then. But you got to work. But after you tell me you played 2 games, I mean, okay.
Well, and again,
I understand.
I mean, and again, this is TMZ reporting, no timetable, although full support from his coach. What about everybody else?
Right, exactly.
I mean, he's not alone in this. And again, emotionally, is your mind into it? You're worried about your house? I get all of that, but everybody is dealing with the same thing, and we've only heard one guy that said, I can't come to work.
That's it, and there's really
that guy.
There's no surprise there, right? Kawhi just joins a long list of guys that, like Ben Simmons, Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson had a highlight dunk the other night, and you would have thought this guy just won the NBA championship. Right, ESPN, it's all, look at Zion, he's back. And then he sits out the next night.
Well,
it's like, what the hell?
I mean, Dude, when he plays, he's incredible.
When he plays. Yes.
When Kawhi plays, he's incredible. I get that. And again, a lot of us are seeing all these mansions that are burning to the ground.
Gosh, it's sad.
And it is sad. But there are people that don't have the means to get out of the area and go to a hotel and not worry about what that's going to do to them financially. Kawhi is one of those that his family is going to be just fine. His house and what's in it might not be, but at this point you're worried about human life, not prized possessions. But, J.J. Redick lost his entire house. I saw Emmanuel Acho when it moved to the Hollywood Hills last night. He had to evacuate his house, and the videos are just scary and devastating. It looks like something out of movies, or anybody that's military listening to this show that's been in any kind of a war zone. That's exactly what it looks like. That's exactly what it looks like in some areas. It is scary. But there's one guy that doesn't go to work.
Yeah, and it's number 2. Look, again, the Clippers hold some responsibility for this. They if nobody else is going away, and everybody's got families out there. Some not affected, some are. I read today that most of the Rams players are not affected, that their homes are not in that area. I'm not sure where they are, but they're not there. So they weren't affected, so that part of it's not affecting. But I don't care whether your home is affected or not. You live in that area. I mean, hell, we live here, and you see the devastation, and it makes you just upset as hell. And you can only imagine you live in L.A., anywhere in L.A., and you see what's happening to your city and the people that live there, and it's devastating. So everybody is affected. And, again, you're absolutely correct. Kawhi's got the means to make a phone call, say, we got to make sure my family's out of there and safe, put them somewhere where nobody's going to – and if the house burns down, Kawhi's got plenty of money to rebuild. A lot of people aren't going to have that because a lot of people don't have insurance for fires out in California. It's too damn expensive.
It is. It's like hurricane coverage in Florida. And then you were selling me one of your reporter friends posted something about a fee to rebuild.
Yes. Jeff Vaughn, who used to be at Kins 5, is now out in Los Angeles. I'm not sure of the affiliate that he works for out there. But apparently the city of Los Angeles, the last fire, and there were a bunch of houses that burned down there as well, the city charges you a $100,000 fee just to start rebuilding. That's what he says. I have no way of knowing, and I'm assuming it's true. Jeff is a credible journalist, but I mean, to me, that's ridiculous. So it's $100,000 before you even start. You got to pay a fee to the city to start to rebuild. I mean, that's criminal in my mind.
It seems like it, especially when you're looking at 0% containment on this fire as we sit right now. Not that we would suggest that they're saying, all right, well, let's see, 1, 2, 4 houses. I don't know. That seems bizarre to me. But there's a lot of weird laws in California.
Yeah, they're crazy.
I mean, and I hate hearing they ran out of water. You're literally right next to an ocean.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of issues out there. I'm not going to blame anybody at this point in time. That will come later, although there is a lot of blame going on right now.
It's a natural disaster, and we just right now need to worry about getting the fire under control.
Then they can investigate, see what happened, and if there were any failings and all of that stuff. But it's just nuts, and it's very sad to watch. And I'll be totally honest with you. I had the TV on this morning, and I had to change the channel to something else because you're just seeing the devastation over and over and over again, and these people that are just devastated because they've lost everything that they have, and it's just really sad to sit there and watch.
The videos that you see from planes landing at LAX that are flying into Los Angeles, and they've got that, and you just see how widespread those fires are and the devastation. It's heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking
and scary. Then you see the ground level, and we've been to Los Angeles on a personal level so many times. I saw
driven that highway. I don't know how many times.
A gas station, a 76 gas station there on the PCH that apparently isn't there anymore, and one of the funnier things that ever happened to Rob Thompson and I on one of those trips might have been there. and it's not there anymore. And, I saw that gas station. I kind of laughed thinking about Rob and spending $13 on a can of Copenhagen at that place. And, that gas station's gone.
Wow.
It's gone.
I don't know how many times we've traveled up and down the PCH. I mean, I can't even count.
Couple dozen.
Going to Cowboys camp, and at least.
I mean, the years we've been going out there, 50.
At
and
least.
That's not an under.
Yeah.
That's probably under. It's just devastating.
It is.
It really is. Will the fires affect the Spurs? We'll get into that. After last night, they might need a couple of days off no matter what the reason. Last night.
What a pathetic performance that was. I don't know how else to describe it.
Pathetic is right, starting with Wemby. And I was mad at Wemby because I had Wemby higher on my pick him for underdog in points, and that dude didn't even come close. So he cost me some money last night. I'll try to get it back tonight, though. With the Orange Bowl, you can play the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy. College football, college basketball, the NFL playoffs that are starting this weekend. You want to win money watching games, go download the Underdog Fantasy app, because with their Pick'em game, you could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats. You can cook up your own entries for a shot to win real cash and prizes all playoffs long just by going with football or mixing and matching with football and basketball. You create your own experience. All you're doing is picking higher or lower, and Underdog is the only pick-em platform that puts the power to cash out in your hands. You can either keep riding with your entry or tap out with the Win Now button to cash out whenever you want. Underdog is the best place to play Pick'em. Download the Underdog Fantasy app, sign up with promo code STAR, deposit now, and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Again, promo code STAR. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog Fantasy.
South Texas College Football Headquarters. Most wonderful time of the year for fans. Bowl season is no exception. The biggest and best matchups this bowl season are brought to you by Ewald Kubota, the Break Room Bar, and Smoky Mo's Barbecue. Hear them all on South Texas' first and only FM sports station, 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them. They have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-282-7766. That's 800-282-7766. 800-282-7766.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
America's best high school football players are coming to San Antonio. It's the Navy All-American Bowl at the Alamo Dome on Saturday, January 11th. C.J. Stroud, Christian McCaffrey, and Micah Parsons played here. Join us for a day of exciting football to see the stars of tomorrow at the Navy All-American Bowl, followed by the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game, presented by Valero. Fan Zone opens at 9:30 a.m. Tickets on sale at the Dome box office and Ticketmaster.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time.
The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Hi, I'm Manny Jr. from Rock's Discount Vitamins. If you're looking to build muscle, strength, and boost athletic performance, check out our huge selection of anabolic pro-hormones. These powerful supplements provide your body with essential nutrients for muscle growth, faster recovery, fat loss, and even improved bone health and libido. Visit one of our 12 San Antonio locations or go online at rocksdiscountvitamins.com to learn more. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for your continued support. rocksdiscountvitamins.com.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, except when your family's starting to get on your nerves. When you need to escape for a little while, head down to SA Card House, have yourself a good meal, have yourself a good drink, win yourself some money on the card tables. 281 and bidders, it's SA Card House.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. So Aaron Glenn has declined the interview opportunity with the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
Right after they announced they have completed an interview with Mike Vrabel.
Yes. Aaron Glenn, though, I think he's about to go interview with the Jets, right?
Yeah, all 5 other openings he's willing to talk to, but for whatever reason, he doesn't want to deal with Bob Kraft.
Well, I think Bob Kraft's already made up his mind. He's just going through the process. I think Mike Vrabel's going to be their head coach.
Unless he ends up with the Raiders, who today fired their general manager.
They did. They should make Tom Brady their general manager.
Serious question, conflict of interest-wise. If Tom Brady is going to be that involved in the hiring process as a minority owner of that franchise, should he step away from the Fox broadcast booth?
I think he will. I think he's going to. I think Tom's had a year of fun. And it would not surprise me at all if he's not back next season. I honestly believe that. I think he will step aside. He'll be more involved in with the Raiders. And it wouldn't surprise me if he is the new general manager. Honestly. And so I know it's a lot of money, but to Tom Brady, he's got plenty of money. And I'm sure if he becomes whatever he becomes with the Raiders, he'll make plenty more.
Well, and I mean, there's so much there that I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty there, but, that was a pretty lucrative deal that he signed.
No doubt. No doubt.
With Fox, and you wonder, it's hard to walk away from that.
But what was the deal? Was it 5 years? Roughly?
It might have been more than that.
It may have been $375 million. I do know that.
10 years, 37.5. I think it's 10 years at 37.5 or something like that.
So he made a smooth $37 million this year.
Well, he might have got paid for his gap year too. Who knows? I mean, for a guy that hadn't done it before, it's a little ridiculous. But
they'll be doing the which one are they doing? I think the Eagles-Packers game. I believe is the game on Fox on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll see.
So he'll be there. But point is, I don't think he'll be there next year with Fox.
Well, somewhere Mr. Olsen is kind of hoping that's the case.
I'm sure he is.
We'll see. Being a head coach is difficult. It is stressful. Happened to notice last night, watching Mitch Johnson, he seems to be getting a lot of gray on the side of his head. I don't think that was there when he was the assistant, when he first, not that I paid much attention, but I thought, man, that guy's graying. In a hurry, that guy is graying, and last night's game probably added to it because last night was a disaster for the San Antonio Spurs.
It was, and he didn't look good face-wise. I mean, he looked like he's added a few wrinkles, too. And, those guys work hard, and Mitch Johnson's no different. But I don't know what's going on with the Spurs. I mean, last night they simply looked uninterested. They got popped in the mouth second quarter, late first, and they just said, okay, whatever, we're done. I mean, it was just a poor performance for most of that basketball game last night.
And quite frankly, disappointing, knowing how they'd lost the last two by not finishing. I thought last night you're playing Milwaukee, and the matchup, the hype around it, it's national TV, and you're coming off an embarrassing loss where you let one get away. I wanted to see a pissed-off Spurs team show up and play 4 quarters last night, and they were solid in the first, but when they got punched in the mouth, they quit.
They flat out quit. And Milwaukee just wanted that game more, and they just smacked the Spurs. I mean, the final score doesn't indicate how big of a blowout that was. And Victor Wembanyama has not been playing well. Let's face it. I mean, I say he hadn't been playing well. The fourth quarters of the last 2 games and this game, he did not play that well.
You looked. They've been road warriors. You could say, yep, some of those guys look tired. And then you go, well, but you're young. But they did look tired. The idea of being on the road that much, Mitch Johnson was asked if that is wearing on this team.
I don't. If you just went and watched a lot of our games, we've played good basketball. We've lost in games, and I understand that's what people will look at and talk about. That's where the mental toll comes in, and that's where we have to stay together in that room. Tonight we got our butt kicked. We haven't got our butt kicked a lot this year, and I don't think we've got our butt kicked lately. And that happens in this league. You can give them credit, and there'll be some things that we need to look at in the mirror individually and collectively, and grow from that.
It was interesting that question was asked, and I'm really surprised that question was asked, to be totally honest with you. So I figure, well, man, the Spurs must have played so many more games on the road this year so far than home games. Well, guess what? That's not the case. They've played 20 games at home, 17 on the road. And if you're tired at this point in the season, you might want to find a different profession.
But 7 of the last 9 have been on the road.
Oh, well.
Well, I mean.
My gosh, come on. Are you kidding me? It's the NBA. That's what you do. And if they're kids. Wemby's 21 years old. I mean, they're kids. Keldon Johnson looked good last night. But he was the only one. And that question in itself, to me, was ridiculous. But it was asked, and it was a good answer by Mitch Johnson.
Get off my lawn.
Well, you say that, but it's the NBA. Everybody plays games on the road. So is everybody, we're tired. We got to go home and play some games at home. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. Good for Mitch Johnson.
Vic did not live up to his end of the hype for this game. He did not. Last year, the freak alien matchup was incredible, and that's why that was on national TV last night. So Wemby was asked afterwards, what was the difference this time versus last?
The difference, I think they're a more accomplished team now. I mean, they look better. They've been looking fantastic this season, since after the beginning of season, and we got better too. And I think they took us seriously for sure, and they didn't. They went all out. So, and also, Jeremy helps a lot when guarding down. So he was there last January.
Oh, okay. So it was Jeremy was out.
Mm-hmm.
That was the difference. Yeah, that was it. You know what, Wemby, for that answer, a little bit disappointing. He didn't really know where to go. The other one that was better was when he said they just simply had better players than we did.
I don't think it was specific tonight. I think it was overall. They were better than us. They were better basketball players tonight. So yeah, we have to step up and we have to respect that too.
Good answer. Fair. I mean, last night you got your butts kicked. They had better players last night. Wemby only takes 10 shots.
He was tired.
Poor guy. I feel so sorry for him. It's got to be tough dragging a 7'4" body around.
I mean, not that you would know, but yeah, I would imagine.
7'4", 120 pounds.
I mean, give or take.
I don't know.
He weighs what you weigh.
He does?
I don't know. I don't know how much you weigh. Probably less than you.
Probably so.
I mean, he looked tired last night. It was one of the few times I've seen him play where I don't want to say he looked disinterested, but he just didn't have that same look on his face. And it might have just been stuff that we talked about last year that we really haven't this year, the physical nature of the game. How many times do you see Giannis come in, hit him, he bounces 3 feet away, and Giannis has an easy bucket? I mean, the idea that he was pushed around last night. He was out-muscled last night. The strength difference between the freak and the alien was on full display last night.
Well, and I think Giannis probably took this game, to heart and serious about it, with everybody talking about how well Wemby played against him, before. And so Giannis probably came into this and said, young man, your time will come, but right now, guess what? I'm still here, and I'm going to show you who's boss. Look, Wemby's going to be great, and I think he's going to be great. We've talked about it. This team needs help. They need more help. They need another shooter. And you need a guy that can score, and they don't have that right now. And, Wemby tired, everything's on Wemby. And that's the problem. I don't care how good you are. You can't do that night in and night out, and you're going to get tired. Wemby needs help.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. Orange Bowl tonight. You can listen to it here on 94.1. Brought to you by Smoky Mo's Barbecue, the Break Room Bar, and Ewell Kubota pregame gets going at 6 o'clock. Let's talk about it and the Cotton Bowl coming up and how the Cotton Bowl could affect the Cowboys. We'll connect dots. Coming up on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle.
What happened to your beard?
I lost it. Dude.
He used the wrong card.
Look away. Look away. I'm hideous. Look away.
Don't look at my face.
Look away. Dude, I didn't realize I had this right here. Yeah? This little wobble.
You can play it like a guitar.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
At Verizon, anyone can trade in their old phone for a new one on us with Unlimited Ultimate, which means everyone in your family could get a new phone and stay on your family plan, keeping you close.
Hey, Mom, you seen my toothbrush? Yeah, I'm almost done with it.
Oh, maybe too close. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Has a loved one died and left you an old car to sell? GiveMeTheVin.com has just launched the new service GMTVCC.com. Write this down, GMTVCC.com, which is Give Me the VIN classic and collector car buying service. GMTVCC.com will hook you up with GMTVCC Pro buyers that will appraise and offer on that 69 Chevelle, old Corvette, old truck, and especially Restomods. We love Restomods at GMTVCC.com. Don't mess with consignments or auctions. Get paid today on your classic or collector car at GMTVCC.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. At the Institute for Functional Health, we are dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit iffhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
Guys, if you're not feeling like yourself, testosterone therapy may be the answer. Look for the VIP treatment you'll get with the experts at Synergenics Testosterone Weight Loss. Synergenics has over a decade of TRT experience. Book your appointment at synergenicshealth.com. It's time to huddle up and listen close. For 2024, we pay tribute to a true game changer in the world of snacks, the unrivaled, the unbeatable, the pork rind. Yes, it's crunch time, and we're not just talking about the last few nail-biting minutes of the game. We're talking about a snack so audaciously crunchy, it puts those pretentious chips and pretzels to shame. So here's to you, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, for being more than just a crunch. Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. It's crunch time. Find your rind at H-E-B.
Well, family, this new year is off to a great start. Everybody, how are those New Year's resolutions?
Dear, my resolution is to cut my damaged hair and just start over.
Dad, my resolution is to take better care of my skin. It's so dry. Ew.
Pops, my New Year's resolution is to work out at the gym. Go up and drink a gallon of bottled water every day.
My resolution is to take up skydiving.
Mom, you're 96.
Don't you make me get it.
Family, my resolution is to replace all our appliances that have been destroyed over the years by hard water.
Sounds like your family needs to start the new year off with installing a Connecticut water system and get a head start on all those resolutions.
This guy's making sense.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. Offer ends soon. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country.
The last water softener you'll ever own. ConnecticutSA.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We're going to be live tomorrow with our friends from Yuengling, Flight by Yuengling, out at Pop Stroke, a special Flight Friday, getting you ready for the Cotton Bowl, Texas, Ohio State. Come hang out with us. Chance to win some great Yuengling prizes. Maybe play a little golf, have a cold beer, get something to eat. Get ready to watch the Longhorns and Ohio State.
Check, 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 and check.
Check.
I'll be doing all of that.
All of that.
Yes.
All of that. Now, it's talking season, and we understand that.
Uh-huh.
And trying to connect all the different potential dots. Like today, lots of different reports about Mike Vrabel has completed an interview with the Patriots. Aaron Glenn has declined an interview with the Patriots. The Raiders fire their GM, and all of a sudden now other people want to interview there, including Ben Johnson, possibly.
Possibly. Thanks to Tom Brady, according to Diana Rossini.
Now, what we haven't heard is the Dallas Cowboys requesting permission to speak to anybody that is currently under contract. Now, that said, if Jerry wants to interview somebody not named Mike McCarthy, say a Mike Vrabel is not under contract. Jerry's free to talk to him all he wants. Pete Carroll, He could interview. You could interview. I could interview. Ron Rivera could interview. Aaron Glenn have to get permission.
Yeah, anybody that's employed at the moment with a football team, you got to get permission. By the way, it was Pete Carroll just finished an interview with the Chicago Bears, we are told. So a lot of interviews going on.
And again, if you're Mike McCarthy, you realize, well, damn, Pete just interviewed for that, and Jerry told me I could not.
Yeah.
Jerry told the Bears, you cannot talk to my guy until January 14th. Now, Steve Sarkisian is going to coach a game in Jerry's building tomorrow night.
He is.
And I guess, I don't know. This morning on Get Up, Greeny and Adam Schefter, they debated whether or not could Jerry just be waiting for Sark.
But I'm speculating. Recklessly, perhaps.
Yes,
The
very.
way this makes sense is if Jerry Jones has someone in mind that he wants to see if he can get, and if he can't get that person, he still wants Mike McCarthy. Well, what is this? What is the big thing that happens between now and January 14th? Steve Sarkisian's season might end, and he might get the opportunity to have that conversation before the exclusive window.
I want to come back to this. We see all these teams submitting requests for all these candidates. All these candidates are talking to all these teams. To the best of my knowledge, Dallas has not requested an interview with any one of these candidates. So I guess Dallas could always jump into the head coaching search next week if something doesn't get done with Mike McCarthy and find the candidate that they want. But they're already falling behind these other teams in the search for a new coach if that's the direction they go. So what are they doing? There has to be a plan. Right. They're not just doing this willy-nilly and flying by the seat of their pants. So I think plan A is to get that deal done with Mike McCarthy. But if they can't, what is the plan? And I think Jerry Jones knows what that plan is.
Well, I'm sure he does, but I think Adam Schefter doesn't know the Cowboys very well because willy-nilly is it's the perfect way to do things
That's
with
called
the Dallas
SOP
Cowboys.
with the Dallas Cowboys.
Exactly.
Standard operating procedure is willy-nilly.
Look, we had Bob Ballou from KI Sports on with us yesterday, and we asked him about the rumors of Sark drawing some interest from NFL teams. And I thought he came up with a pretty good explanation that Sark is not he doesn't want to leave Arch Manning with his first year. I mean, he's nurtured this guy along. They've had a plan in place the entire time. Arch is finally going to get his opportunity next year. It would be hard for Bob to see Sark leaving before that happens.
Now, that said, if Archie Manning gets his wish, they'll be reunited in Dallas in a couple of years anyway.
That is true.
Here's my biggest part of ain't no way in hell this is going to happen. Jerry Jones seems to be cheap when it comes to coaching contracts. In fact, there are reports that McCarthy makes somewhere between $4 and $7 million. We don't know. They're not public. We have no idea. But that seems about right. He said Sunday, Jerry did, that he would like to see his coaches on incentive-based contracts. Now, Sark makes $10.5 million a year from the University of Texas, plus bonuses, plus a housing allowance, plus a car. He gets shoe money. He gets camp money. He get who knows ultimately how much he makes, but let's just start with $10.5 million. Seems about $5 million more than what Jerry wants to pay for a coach to start with. So if you're Sark going from the college level to the NFL level, you're not taking a pay cut, especially when you've got a program that was in the playoffs last year and the Final Four this year and looking like it will be back there for, well, years to come. So make that make sense, right?
It doesn't make sense.
All right, good.
Well, and let me ask you a question. Let's just throw out some scenarios here.
All right.
And I'm serious, and I know you're a Sark fan. I get it, and I am too. He's a good coach. I'm probably not a big a fan of him as you are, but would that excite you if that were to happen? Sark going to the Dallas Cowboys.
Man, you put me on the spot. The hesitation, I think, says it all. It's twofold. It would piss me off as a Longhorn fan. Would it excite me from a Cowboys standpoint? Yes, because I know they have an innovative offense, but the problems in Dallas are still there. Last year they didn't want a running back, or they didn't want to pay for a Derrick Henry, so they're going to make up for that by probably drafting one in the first round, which is just dumb, but that's
dumb.
what the Dallas Cowboys do.
Yeah.
They have offensive line issues. Right now I think the Longhorn offensive line is probably is on par with what they have with the Cowboys, especially if you end up losing a Zach Martin. The receivers. I mean, he's got more weapons in Austin.
Yes.
And he doesn't have to, at least right now, deal with the salary cap. So he can go buy whatever he wants, which is what Jerry would love to be able to do. So part of me, would I be mad at it? No. From a Cowboy fan point, from the Longhorn fan point, I would be. From Cowboys, no. But at the same time, what concerns me about Sark is the same thing that concerns me about the game tomorrow night. In the biggest of big games, he gets a panicked look on his face. I talked about it when I was in the stadium at the Georgia game. They showed him early on that big old screen up there at DKR, and I thought he was going to wet himself. And, they show him on TV the other day, with the exception of when he was talking to his kicker, he looked panicked. When he was talking to his kicker, he looked relaxed. But most of the time, the guy does not look relaxed. He gets a look in big moments like he's going to make coffee nervous. So, yes, that's my concern tomorrow night. That would be my concern at the NFL level.
All great points. My problem with Sark is he doesn't have a killer instinct to me. He just doesn't. And I say that because there have been games where Texas has a lead and they lose that lead. You can blame that on the defense. You can blame it on whatever you want, but I'm going to blame it on the offense. And Sark is the guy responsible for that. It just seems like the game plan that got them the big lead all of a sudden goes out the window, and it gets very conservative. Doesn't work out too well, and teams have an opportunity to come back. Just the latest example was Arizona State. They did, and Texas is very fortunate to be playing football tomorrow night against Ohio State.
They are, because they seem to get a lead and then go into cruise control. They go into prevent mode, or whatever you want to call it. We saw it against A&M. We saw it against Arkansas. We've seen it enough to know that's not a one-off. That wasn't a weird game. That is what they do. But at the same time, when it matters most, when it's all on the line, a guy like Quinn Ewers, ice water in his veins, that guy stays calm. But when they show the coach, he doesn't look calm. And that, I think, does resonate through the rest of a roster. When you get, Mike McCarthy always kind of has the same look. It's stoic, and a lot of the great coaches are that way. Mm-hmm. People feed off of that energy. Sark seems to I don't like the energy a lot of times when everything is on the line and it's tight.
Yep.
So tomorrow night we'll see, but that is one of my biggest concerns for the Longhorns tomorrow night against Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. As far as how it works with the Cowboys, I don't know what I want from a well, again, Ben Johnson has been a great offensive coordinator, but we don't know if he's going to be a great head coach. That's the nature of coordinators becoming a first-time head coach. Historically, Jerry wants somebody with coaching experience at the NFL level. So that would take Sark out. Remember all the talk about Lincoln Riley a couple years ago, and Jerry essentially said when he didn't hire Lincoln Riley is he doesn't have any experience at this level. It's a different ball game.
And it's a good thing he didn't, because Lincoln Riley has gone to USC to kind of, fade away.
Well, I mean, you look at from one year to the next. Look at Bobby Slowick with the Houston Texans, their offensive coordinator. Last year, man, it was every Texan fan celebrated that he did what Ben Johnson did and says, you know what, I want to run it back. And now most Texans fans I know wish that Bobby Slowick would have taken one of those jobs if any were actually offered to him. But you don't hear his name on the interview list like you did a year ago.
Not at all.
And so, although Bobby Slowick, though, I mean, we're now in January. And Bobby Slowick said yesterday that finally the guys, Pledge, you got the audio ready? Bobby Slowick finally has that offense ready to go.
I kind of alluded to it already. Like, every year is different. You know, you can go into seasons and you think you have like a certain group or a certain scheme or a certain style that you think you're going to be able to go in and play and do. But it happens every year. Like it changes and evolves as you go. And that process this year has without a doubt happened. And I think last year I probably found the answer faster than I have this year. But I feel like we've really gotten to a place right now where, you know, coaching staff, organization, and players all feel pretty good about where we're going.
You might have one game left, Bobby.
Well, I'm not sure where he gets that from, other than the first drive of the Tennessee game.
That was it.
Which was good. So I'm not sure what happened between then and now that he said, well, we got it now. Boy, this is a hell of a practice session. The guys finally get it.
He's got a new calendar.
I guess it's kind of strange. Look, Houston they've had some problems injury-wise. It is hurt. Some of their playmakers obviously out. That hurts. There's no question about it. That offensive line has had some issues too. And that's why I just don't think it's Houston's year to even win a playoff game because of the issues that they have. So is that Slowick's fault? Perhaps partly, but I think partly you got to look at everything else, just like with Mike McCarthy. I think Mike McCarthy did a pretty damn good job this year coaching with all the adversity that he had to face. And I think Mike McCarthy will ultimately be back. I just think it's an issue with the contract. And if Jerry's trying to lowball him, then I think that's going to be an issue, and the Cowboys may see themselves without a head coach come January 14th.
You know, it is interesting, and I think Mike McCarthy on principle, if he's being lowballed, and we don't know that he is, but it appears that way, or the years aren't enough for Mike McCarthy, the incentives, if Jerry is really trying to go that route. At the same time, Mike McCarthy entered this season as a lame duck head coach, and right before the season, he changed agents. I can't imagine that you change your agent and take a lesser deal than what your last one got you. And I wonder if part of the changing of the agents had something to do with the contract that Jerry is apparently offering this week. If he is, if they're negotiating, there's some sort of offer, I would imagine. But did he get that last year after you got embarrassed by Green Bay? You know, should that have been the time for Jerry to offer him, all right, well, we're not going to fire you because you did win 12 regular season games, but you didn't do anything in the playoffs, so here's the next deal, because he allowed this to happen? Or did Mike McCarthy say, I'm not taking that deal, I've got to prove it here, I'm going to go prove it, in which case he failed miserably considering they didn't make the playoffs? To your point, he got a lot out of this team and never lost the locker room, and there's something to be said for that in keeping that culture moving forward.
Look, I think it is. And the only thing I can think of why we haven't had either Mike, it's been nice knowing you, or we've got an extension is because Jerry's trying to do something that Mike doesn't like. Either it's a low ball in the salary or it's a low ball in the number of years for the contract. And I think that's got to be part of it. That's the only thing I can think of, that this deal hasn't been announced one way or the other. But I think with you got your quarterback signed for the next 4 years, right? You've got CD Lamb. There's a lot of things the Cowboys need, but at least you wouldn't have to install a new system with a brand new head coach on top of everything else the Cowboys are needing. So I think all of that said, I think it behooves the Cowboys, if Mike McCarthy wants to come back, it behooves them to keep him there and not have to worry about a brand new system putting in place and new coaches all over the place, all of that stuff. I think Mike McCarthy needs to come back to the Cowboys, and Jerry needs to get that done.
And the reality, Mike McCarthy knows how to play the media game just like Jerry Jones.
He does.
If Mike McCarthy's already been told you're not coming back, somebody would have reported it.
Absolutely.
It's a quick text. It's a phone call. It's something. The fact that you're hearing nothing from the McCarthy camp tells me that he is negotiating and still not doing anything that could dirty up the waters or piss off his boss, right? Jerry can do what Jerry wants because he's Jerry, and Jerry does that. But like if Mike McCarthy knew he wasn't coming back and was denied the permission to talk to the Chicago Bears, he could easily get the message out that he ain't coming back and he's mad as hell at Jerry and try to make Jerry look bad.
I would have, wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, the reality is there are 32 of these jobs in the world, and there's 32 billionaire owners. Well, I guess 31 because you got the Packers. But the idea that you don't want that to be a part of your reputation, that if you did this here, what would you do here, right, kind of thing. So I do think that there is that, man, I want to send this, but be careful before you push send on something. But it could easily get out, just like Schefter reporting that they are talking, that they're not talking, and Mike McCarthy can't wait for the 14th and will have things lined up for the 15th, because he could do that.
He could.
He could say, hey, Chicago, man, I'll see you on the 15th, and that would get reported.
Well, absolutely it would get reported. Look, they're talking. It's been reported that they are. To me, it's the details in the contract that are the issues. Mike McCarthy said he wants to come back. I have no reason to doubt him. I think Jerry said the same thing. He's not unhappy with McCarthy, and he shouldn't be after this year. Had nothing to work with, injuries all over the place, and McCarthy did a pretty good job. So I think it's the details. Either it's years or it's money or maybe a little bit of both, but that's the problem. That's why they're talking, and that's why you have not heard anything else. But I think at the end of the day, Mike McCarthy is back.
Now, again, you look at, we're coming up on the Friday of the first full week of the offseason for the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe tomorrow we hear something. You know, if Jerry is going with this same timeline, if you will, as Jason Garrett, we should know something maybe tomorrow or at some point through the weekend. And again, the report, and I heard it on ESPN radio, but I haven't really seen it anywhere else. The contract is officially over, but in there was an exclusive negotiating window that goes through the 14th. Either way, Mike McCarthy can't interview without Jerry giving him permission to. And I would also like to think, I mean, it goes both ways for Jerry. One of the reasons why he is so good with all his players because he knows they all talk, and that's good for recruiting. That's good in free agency. Players want to go be a part of the Dallas Cowboys and everything that comes with being a member of the Dallas Cowboy. If he were to know today, and Mike McCarthy know today, that you're not coming back, but I'm still not letting you go coach or interview somewhere else.
That's bad.
The chicken bleep move that would internally for any reputable candidate, I think you would have to hit pause before you want to go work for that guy.
Absolutely. Look, and I know Jerry likes PR regardless of what it is, good, bad, or indifferent. This would be a different level of bad. If you're denying somebody an opportunity to go somewhere else and your intention was to let him go anyway, yeah, that kind of PR is really bad and could affect you, as you just said, with other coaches. Because quite frankly, if you're a coach with any resume at all and you've made money, Cowboys would be last on my list if that happens.
And again, if that's the kind of coach Jerry wants, which it seems to be, somebody with experience, those guys, they wouldn't put up with that because financially they wouldn't need to, other than their desire to be a head coach in the National Football League.
Absolutely.
What about Deion Sanders? NFL Talk with Deion piping up again. We'll dive into that coming up here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding home with The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning. The cap is loose on that ketchup.
Ugh.
Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Hey, Manny Jr. here with Rock's Discount Vitamins. This holiday season, don't let those extra pounds sneak up on you. We have the largest selection of weight control products to help you stay on track. Boost your metabolism with our non-stimulant fat burners, or try Cuts, which helps your carbs work for you, not against you. With 12 locations across San Antonio, Rock's Discount Vitamins has everything you need to keep your diet in check this holiday season. Find us at rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for your continued support.
If you've been busy this past holiday season, then it's time to finally focus on you. And that's where Macy's comes in. Come and treat yourself to something great, like rejuvenating skincare routines from Lancome, Estee Lauder, Clinique, Shiseido, Kiehl's, and more of your favorites. With so many great deals at Macy's, you'll be able to pick up a new cleanser and a new serum and a new moisturizer now during our Deals for Great Skin event. So, what are you waiting for? Refresh your routine today at Macy's.
If you're looking for something light and refreshing to drink, give Love Street Blonde from Karbach a try. One of the best beers you'll find in Texas, a Kolsch-style blonde hopped delicately with floral German hops. This beer has a clean malt profile you're going to love. Check them out wherever you get your Karbach beer.
Coverage varies by plan, view contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire, or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-299-1058. 800-299-1058. Again, that's 800-299-1058.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN+. It's 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf, Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up, it's golf.
So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, except when your family's starting to get on your nerves. When you need to escape for a little while, head down to SA Card House, have yourself a good meal, have yourself a good drink, win yourself some money on the card tables. 281 and Bitters, it's SA Card House.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the NBA announced today it is postponing the Lakers-Hornets game tonight at Crypto Arena due to the raging wildfires across the L.A. area. Spurs play in L.A. on Saturday. We'll have to see if the fires affect that game as well. It's also being reported that Lakers head coach J.J. Redick lost his home in those fires. College football semifinals underway tonight. It's Penn State. It's Notre Dame. It's right here on 94.1 beginning at 6.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 as San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Cold, rainy Thursday afternoon here in San Antonio. And on ESPN right now, they're doing an aerial shot of Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, for tonight's Orange Bowl. And, man, that field looks perfect.
The weather looks perfect. It's going to be a beautiful night for football there in Florida. And I think we're going to have a pretty good game, too.
It's so interesting as you know, the field just looks great. I just saw some video of Herbie's dog running all over the field. The idea that you have two cold weather teams playing in South Florida is comical, right? Like, this matchup looks like it should be like in a cold, snowy kind of game. I wonder, though, with Notre Dame and Penn State, while most of us expect it to be fairly low scoring because of the perfect conditions, will it actually be a higher scoring game just because it's not a frozen tundra snow game?
Yeah, usually you're expecting one thing and something else happens. Both of those defenses are pretty good. So I'm expecting a lower scoring type of game. In fact, I put my money where my mouth is, so I'm hoping it is. So we'll see what happens. But I really think this game comes down to the wire. 3-point game, 7-point game at the most, and I think it's going to be a good football game.
These next two nights. Tonight, Penn State, Notre Dame. Tomorrow night, Texas, Ohio State. Is bad as most of these playoffs have been, we get to the Final Four, and I don't think we'll have the same disappointment that, say, we had a week ago or so in the Rose Bowl with Ohio State just curb stomping Oregon, the number one team in the country. I don't think we're going to see anything like that over the next two games.
I hope not. I really do. I hope not. I hope that they're both competitive football games, and they should be with the matchups. Tonight, two good defenses. I think it's going to be close. Tomorrow night, you could have an offensive explosion, although both of those defenses are pretty good. So I expect both of these games to be good.
And that's what's so fun about these matchups, right? The Texas-Ohio State game, everybody talks about the offenses, but both have great defenses.
They do.
Now, we know because we talk about them a lot, about how good the Longhorns defense is, but nobody really talks nationally at all about how good that Ohio State defense is. It's about all those wide receivers and their quarterback and everything else that goes along with it. But you're right, defenses are going to say, hey, man, hold my beer. I got something to say here.
Yeah, absolutely they do. And in a game like that, I know all these teams have been through this, and they've played big games, but this is big. Right? I mean, this is big. So typically the defense has a little bit of an advantage, at least early on. We'll see if that's the case tonight and then again tomorrow night.
Going to be a lot of fun. Again, both games live here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star, brought to you by the Break Room Bar in Live Oak, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, and Ewall Kubota. Now, if you're not listening, you're looking for a place to watch the game tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon, the Blitz live out at Popstroke with our friends from Yingling. We'll broadcast live 2 to 6. Get you ready for the game. Great place to go watch the game, have some food, some beer, and maybe play some golf if the game isn't going well. You need to take an emotional walk.
We'll get there early and go play some golf.
Yeah.
You can play before the game begins.
All of it. All of the above. You look at the game tomorrow, and we've talked about Sark, and I don't know, Schefter doesn't bring that up without getting tipped off from somebody about potential interest. I mean, none of us just come in with a microphone and just make stuff up to see what hits, at least those with a reputation. So the idea of Sark going to the NFL this year, I think, is just way out of left field. I would put that at a very small percentage. I wouldn't say no. But especially with the Cowboys, I don't see Jerry money whipping the guy where he couldn't say no to an offer. Deion Sanders, though, on the other hand, is one that you kind of wonder, will Prime eventually end up in the NFL? Could that be sooner rather than later? Now, he seemingly put that to bed before the bowl season really got underway, but yet he continues to get asked about it, and he continues to answer questions about it.
The only way I would consider is to coach my son. Not son. No. Sons. Okay.
I think we're going to go rival with that.
Yeah.
So that's not a no.
Well, I love Colorado. Now, I love my Buffaloes. I love everything that we're building. I love everything that we're doing. And I love Boulder, Colorado. I do immensely.
Now, translation there, if the Las Vegas Raiders draft Shedeur and then maybe in a later round draft my other son, maybe I'll be the head coach there.
I'd say anything's possible because it was, I'm staying here. Now it's, well, maybe.
Yeah, that's first time he said something like that kind of opens the door for a possible departure to the NFL.
But sons, plural, is what he said.
That's
there
what he said.
On Good Morning America. And all I could hear was J.J. Redick.
Bronny has earned it.
Oh, yeah. So you're going to draft the 2 kids so you can hire the coach?
Well, the Shador has earned it.
Yeah.
Now, the other one, not so much.
Well, I mean, Shiloh's one, he's got some time to grow, but could he be an NFL defensive back? Maybe.
Yeah,
or maybe. He's considering Travis Hunter, but there's no way those two are going to be on the same team.
No, they're not. But, again, Shador, Raiders, I could see that. I could see Dion being the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. I think he'd be a perfect fit there. But that all depends now, it seems like, because it seems like Tom Brady's calling the shots with the Raiders. And so he's got Ben Johnson to come down there for an interview or to interview virtually, however they're doing it with these guys that are still working right now. And then Vrabel as well. So I think there's 2 pretty good candidates. It'd be surprising. It would not surprise me at some point in time that Dion comes to the NFL. But I don't think this year is it.
I agree. I agree. But crazy things can happen around the draft.
No
doubt. With all these openings, you just wonder, will there be an interview? And especially if you look at where Shador is at. It is, I don't want to say an about face, but it kind of feels like he's, I said all the right things when I had to when I was signing players left and right. Now that the portal's closed, what am I really going to sell you?
Yeah, the door's cracked.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not slammed shut and deadbolted. It's open just a little bit.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There is a chance. No doubt about it.
A lot of stipulations on there. And, again, I could see Shador getting drafted and Dion becoming the coach and Shiloh earning a practice squad roster spot.
Well, hey, you never know. Could happen.
Anything is possible. As you look ahead to the NFL playoff weekend, the Eagles' injury report is out. Jalen Hurts was a full participant in today's practice, so he is on track to play Sunday against the Green Bay Packers because he had not cleared concussion protocol until today. So it was going to be interesting to see, and I know, like if you're trying to make picks early, I don't know how you pick that game not knowing Jalen Hurts is going to be there, although I will ask your opinion, Joe. Jalen Hurts coming off of this concussion that seemed to be a lot more severe than originally thought based on how long it took him to clear protocol. If you're Nick Sirianni and you're Kellen Moore, how much do you adjust the game plan this weekend for Jalen Hurts? In other words, maybe a few less designed runs? And with a tush push, do you put his head in harm's way with that particular play, which is a big part of their offense, knowing that he's coming off of what appears to be a pretty severe concussion?
Well, maybe Saquon will finally get a touchdown or two, something that he's missed out on this season. Look, I don't think they have to adjust that much, and I say that because it seems like whether it's Kellen Moore or Sirianni or a combination of both have scaled that, relying on Jalen Hurts. They've scaled that down since Saquon Barkley has been there, and he has been the primary offensive guy for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they'll run everything that they normally do. The tush push, though, is a good question because if that thing was as serious as it was and it cost him, 2 weeks, although he probably wouldn't have played last week anyway, but he was out for a couple of weeks, and if it was that severe, you never know.
And again, last week, if he were a healthy scratch, but he had not cleared concussion protocol. He could not have played last week, even if they needed him to play. And I just wonder about the tush push play more importantly. The other design runs, you can protect yourself. The tush push, you're just putting your head right in there.
Yeah.
And you wonder, since we're always worried about the safety of a player, is Kellen Moore going to call that knowing what he's coming out of?
I think you're talking to doctors, you're talking to Jalen, you're talking to everybody, making sure that he's okay and can do everything that you need him to do. Look, it would have shocked me if Jalen Hurts wasn't playing in this football game. Regardless, they would have found a way. And I think he will have everything at his disposal to do, including the tush push.
The Los Angeles Chargers have had to alter their practice schedule because of the air quality in Los Angeles. They get the Houston Texans Saturday afternoon in the Texans time slot for the playoffs. Let's talk about it with the general. John McClain joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, with all of this football coming up, you want to find a great place to watch all of these games. So I'm going to tell you, the best place is the Golf Club of Texas. It really has become this year the football watching headquarters. It is just a perfect place to go and watch football, including tonight's playoff game between Penn State and Notre Dame. Head on out there. Get some dinner. The Tin Cup Restaurant is the best restaurant in that part of San Antonio, without a doubt. And again, you're not going to break the bank. Not to mention the fact that they always have specials. Like tonight, $10 flatbread pizzas out there tonight. They've also got drink specials out there going on. So it is a perfect place to gather up your friends, gather up your family, head on out to the Golf Club of Texas and watch some football, whether that's tonight, tomorrow night, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. Make plans to get out there. And oh, by the way, in case you're wondering, the weather is going to clear up. It's going to be really nice Saturday and Sunday. So a vet move is to go right now to golfclubtexas.com and book your tee time for early Saturday, early Sunday, and then stick around and watch all the football. It is a perfect weekend right there in front of you, because I'll be honest with you, if you haven't been out to the Golf Club of Texas lately, you haven't been out there. You need to go and check that place out and make sure that you have some fun. Play some golf, watch some football. Do it. Golf Club of Texas, it's right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. Whether it's for dinner at the Tin Cup or around with your buddies, your next tournament, go check them out. Again, best rates always online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
It's showtime. Let's do it. It's fun time. Here we go.
South Texas home of the 12-team college football playoff is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. All of the matchups are brought to you by Ewald Kubota, the Break Room Bar, and Smoky Mo's Barbecue. Hear every game on South Texas' first and only FM sports station. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
It's football season, and now you can get anything you need for game day delivered with Uber Eats. Well, almost anything. You can't get a running back, but baby back ribs? Yes. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-550-8841.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-550-8841. That's 800-550-8841.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Texans, playoff game, Saturday in the Texans time slot. You can listen to that game, Texans Chargers, over on ESPN AM 1250, brought to you by Flight by Yingling. It'll be a good time. Let's talk about it. John McClain from HoustonTexans.com joining us here on the Blitz on the Buyers Barricades guest line. I'm going to guess you weren't shocked when you saw the kickoff time for the Texans playoff game, huh?
I already wrote last week that it was going to be the first game on Saturday because that's always 8 games. 8 times the Texans have won the AFC South and made the playoffs. Every time they've played here, they've never been a wild card team. They're 5-2 in these first round games, and they've all been here in that early slot. And I like it because it means I have time to watch the night game. And so I'm comfortable with them playing there. And because no other team has its own time slot like the Texans do.
Yeah, that's a really good point, John. But how do the Texans feel about it? Do they care? Or is it just, hey, they tell us when to play and we show up?
They don't care. I'll tell y'all something else, and this will be a while, but remember I told you, before the Texans make every pick they have in the draft, they always go to a commercial. Always. We make jokes about it at the draft. Other teams, they may go, okay, the Cowboys did this, now Washington's coming up, and then they talk about possible picks, and then Washington picks, then next team picks, or if it's always a commercial before the Texans, because nobody is going to be sitting on the edge of their seat. And if you don't want that early time slot, then play better.
That's a great point.
Nice.
Absolutely. John McClain here on the Blitz. Bobby Slowick said yesterday that finally everybody seems to be on the same page and they have figured out the offense. Now, there was one drive last week against Tennessee, and you could have one game left. When you heard that from Bobby Slowick, what went through your mind?
Well, first of all, I don't pay much attention to what coaches say when they're answering negative questions because they're never going to say. They'll say, we need to play better. You know, it starts with me, blah, blah, blah. So at this point, there's 2 ways I look at this. Number one, the Texans, despite losing Nico Collins for 5 games, Stephon Diggs for the season, Tank Dell for the season, Jalen Petrie for the season, they've had a lot of injuries, but they're still in good shape because they have some depth. And injuries are not the reason they played. They lose on a 45-yard field goal with no time left at Green Bay. They lose against Detroit on a 52-yard field goal with no time left. If they just won one of those, and then those were difficult, but the worst was losing here to Tennessee. That was the worst loss of the season. So despite all these issues, they could be better. But right now, I think people here don't want to hear it, and I don't care. I think the Chargers are going to beat them, And Chargers are a better team. They're playing better. They're better on both sides of the ball, and they're better coached. Other than that, the Texans are fine. And I think that Tennessee game, I paid no attention to the Tennessee game because Titans needed to lose. Now, they don't go out to lose, but you hold out certain players, you pull out certain players, you make certain calls. And so they're trying to lose, and they did. They have the first overall pick in the draft. The Texans needed to win, and they did. Now they finished 10-7 2 years in a row under DeMeco Ryans. They're 2.5-point underdogs at home. I wrote a column on HoustonTexans.com today. They are in the exact position they were in last year. They were 2-point underdogs to Cleveland, who had beaten them 39-21 or 3, something like that on Christmas Eve. They come here for the wild card game. Nobody gave them a chance. They won 45-14. You want to get respect, you have to earn it, and they haven't earned it. This would be a good time to do it because everybody, other than the most diehard Texans fan, and even they have their fingers and toes crossed, thinks that the Chargers are going to win this game.
Well, and I know DeMeco's talked about that this week, and you know, he said the same coach speak, that nobody cares, it's just all about us. But my question is, John, does this Texans team in its current state have enough weapons, have enough, is that offensive line okay? I mean, do they have enough to stop the Chargers at any point, offensively or defensively?
They their offensive line is, I can't remember what station I told this to, you know, they don't have Harry Potter to wave a magic wand and all of a sudden the offensive line is fixed. They do use different combinations. But the fact is they're going against a defense that's allowed the fewest points. The defense is number 1 in the red zone, and the Texans are number 26th in red zone offense, number 27 in red zone defense. The most impressive thing the Texans have done this year is force turnovers, intercept passes, and sack quarterback. And Justin Herbert's only thrown 3 interceptions, and they've committed only 9 turnovers. That's second to the Chargers. And the whole key for the Texans, if they could protect C.J. Stroud. In that game last year against Cleveland, he was not sacked, so he threw 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions, had a rating of 157. But he hasn't had that kind of protection this year, and that's one reason his game's off. He'll make some really good plays, but most of the time, somebody up front gets beat initially. And here's a great stat. Boy, it's just amazing. I'm talking about a playoff team. 3rd and 9 or longer. They've had it 91 times. Only team to have it more is Cleveland. They're 1-5 against playoff teams. They average 11 points a game. Stroud is 1-5 against winning teams. 5 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and they're averaging 16 points a game. That's not good. All of a sudden, do I think it's going to get cleaned up? No. If they could do like last year against Cleveland, get 2 touchdown returns, interception, they might have a chance.
Maybe. So you're saying there's a chance. All right, John, as we visit with John McClain from HoustonTexans.com. For Texans fans listening, like local comedian Cleto Rodriguez, who just texted how much you're depressing him, what can you, I mean, hope, if everything were to break right and the Texans were to win this game, how do they do it?
You think you're depressed? This is the 6th radio show I've had to say all this stuff about. That's depressing, and that's just today. Okay, first of all, Stroud cannot turn it over. They can't have 3rd and 9. Bobby Slowick has got to be more creative on 1st or 2nd down. I think they should throw the ball to running back Joe Mixon on 1st down. Oh, by the way, he's been hitting the backfield more than any back in the league. And all these are issues for the offensive line, specifically the interior. So a 3-yard gain on 1st down pass to Mixon is better than what they do on most of their 1st down runs. So I would utilize him at backfield. I'd play Dameon Pierce coming off a great game against the Titans, who do have a good run defense, and that included 92-yard touchdown. But he looked crisp, fresh. He had a couple of holes, took advantage. Had 4 or 5 runs, at least 5 yards, I would use him as well. I would try to control the ball with a lot of short passes. Every once in a while, use play action to throw deep to Nico Collins or Deontay Johnson. And defensively, they're going to rush 4. Don't get beat by a big play, and hope your defensive line, which is the strength of the defense, along with their corners, that can get enough pressure on Justin Herbert to affect him getting rid of the ball to his receivers. And a couple of those interception returns for a touchdown like last year wouldn't hurt.
So, boy, I tell you what, that's a lot, John. It's a lot of things that have to go right. Look, we'll see what happens. I'm excited for the game. I've got to ask you, though, John, obviously, we talk a lot of Dallas Cowboys here. What is your opinion on what's going on with Mike McCarthy?
It's typical chaos, confusion with the Cowboys. The way they do their contracts, the way they wait till the last minute and overpay their star players when they could have done it before. If they deny permission to the Bears to talk to McCarthy, that's fine because they're either going to bring him back or fire him, and if he's fired, the Bears won't have a coach hired by then, so he'll still get the interview. I think Jerry Jones is looking for every reason to bring him back, and I don't know one Cowboy fan that would be happy about that. But it's not McCarthy's fault. They didn't make an effort to get Derrick Henry for $8 million a year, and I think that they need a fresh approach. They're not going to get it at GM, of course, but get it with a head coach. And I'm not sure who that should be. But if you're a coach who has multiple offers, first thing you look at, ownership. Is it stable ownership? Then you look at who's running the personnel department. And you look at what kind of freedom you have. Then you look at your quarterback. So that's not a great situation. To me, the best situation is New England. They got a great young quarterback. They got almost $100 million in cap dollars. They got an owner who, except for this year, has been about as stable as you can get. And if you're Mike Vrabel, you come in there with the fans and the media loving you. But some of these other jobs, like say New England, where you have no quarterback, you have Simple Jack from Tropic Thunder as your owner, who changes coaches and GMs about every two and a half years. To me, that's a bad situation. So Cowboys, I know it means a lot to coach the Cowboys. I don't care if McCarthy gets the job back or not. I just wish Jerry get it over with so we don't have to talk about it all the time. And you guys and my station in Waco and everybody in Dallas, I can't imagine how hard it is to talk about the same thing over and over about the Cowboys, everything except when it comes to winning and getting a championship game for the first time since my first marriage.
Wow. Man, from the top rope.
Wow.
Yes. Tropic Thunder to the first marriage reference all in one breath. That was impressive, John. That was impressive.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you.
That was impressive.
The Simple Jack thing was fantastic.
Yeah.
I just always thought he looks like Mo from the Three Stooges.
Well, if you look at Simple Jack, the character Ben Stiller plays in there, and his really yellow hair, and it looks like he's cut with a bowl. First time I saw it, I thought of Mark Davis. And I saw a big close-up of him this week, and I thought, my God, that could be Simple Jack.
Absolutely, it could be. So, John, unless the team actually surprises all of us, the season's going to end Saturday afternoon. What changes, if any, especially to the staff, do you expect D'Amico Ryans to make?
I'm sure they'll fire their offensive line coach and their assistant offensive line coach, although both of them were here last year, and the offensive line wasn't an issue. Stroud was sacked 38 times. This year he's had, I think, 54 or something like that. And the offensive line has been a constant problem, especially the interior. So they got to do something with that. There will be natural attrition of a couple guys who will leave, and a lot of people here want Bobby Slowick fired. I don't think D'Amico will fire him, but they can't come back with the same system, the same blocking schemes. They're not suited for the outside zone, so they need to go back to your gap gap scheme and find the hole and blow through it. I don't know that they'll do that, but they can't stand pat. They don't have a lot of cap money like they did last year. I'm pretty sure their first pick better be an interior lineman, probably a guard.
Emphasis on better.
Better.
Be. Yes.
I think they ought to hire John McClain.
I know, man. He said better be in dad
Better
voice.
Be. Yes.
Yes. John, I would say enjoy your football Saturday, but get through Saturday and enjoy your football Sunday.
I'm going to enjoy football tonight. I'm going to enjoy it tomorrow night. This is a great 5-day stretch for football. We football lovers are in football heaven.
Amen.
Absolutely. John, always appreciate it, my friend. We'll talk to you next week about what changes need to be made for the Texans.
Jason and Joe, I hope I'm wrong, and we're talking about the Texans divisional round game at Kansas City. Thank you.
Appreciate it. The great John McClain. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at McClain_on_NFL. Read him at HoustonTexans.com. John and all our guests on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
He doesn't paint a very big picture, does he? Or good one?
No.
I didn't see any birds coming from Pledge over there when John was saying all that stuff.
Well,
when I say the Texans
birds
are in
on
trouble.
my text from Cleto Rodriguez.
I'm just saying.
And for a clean comic, I can't believe what he texted me.
He's a funny guy.
He is.
He's a funny
Just
dude.
ask him.
Well, he is a funny guy. Last time I saw him, I LOL'd.
Did you?
I did.
You LOL'd?
Several times.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did. Dude's funny.
But you couldn't sound older saying that. I LOL'd.
LOL'd a lot.
Did he make you belly laugh?
Yeah, a couple times.
Then
yes.
he did his job.
He did. So I mean, I LOL'd. He was spitting stuff out, and
Oh, I hope it wasn't at that place with the enchiladas while you're watching the show. Nobody needs to see you spit that out.
Well, I didn't spit that out.
Oh,
but there
okay,
were
good.
some alcoholic beverages, probably.
Well,
yeah.
of course, probably.
Yeah, well, of course there was. Yes, there was.
Let's get ready for the Orange Bowl coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Before we do that, though, we're going to talk about Stevens Roofing. I love talking about Stevens Roofing. Great family. They're family-owned, local company, and they're just the best in the business. Look, they've been in business for a long time. You don't stay in business at anything, much less a roofing company, if you're not doing it right. And Stevens Roofing is doing it right. And they understand that your roof is so important to your home because it covers everything that you hold dear, including, of course, and first and foremost, your family. Stevens Roofing is the reliable roofer you can trust. No matter what the project is, commercial, residential, metal, composition, they can do it all. They're licensed by the city of San Antonio. Estimates are always free. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call them, 210-785-0994. Now, Stevens Roofing is also doing solar these days. So if you've been thinking about going solar, you need to call the company you can trust. And that, again, is Stevens Roofing. Solar panels, increasingly affordable. They can save you money on your monthly utility bills. They'll often increase the value of your home, and there are even options to keep the lights on if the grid goes down, and there's always that chance of that, especially as we're going through this cold snap. You need to give them a call and find out exactly how they can get that done. Stevens has a team of certified experts who will deliver solar solutions that are tailored to your specific needs. So if you need roofing or if you need solar, you need to call the local company that's been trusted for decades. Call Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994. Stevens Roofing has your family covered. So give them a call, 210-785-0994.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday on the Morning Huddle, we've got one team in the national championship game. Will Texas or Ohio State be joining them?
That's not the only playoffs on the docket. We got NFL coming our direction, too. Going to be a busy Friday. Get here quick. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, except when your family's starting to get on your nerves. When you need to escape for a little while, head down to SA Card House. Have yourself a good meal. Have yourself a good drink. Win yourself some money on the card tables. 281 in bidders. It's SA Card House.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. Offer ends soon.
Call 656-PURE. Connecticut.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. To have payment plans, call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text BREAK to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BREAK to 42424. That's BREAK to 42424.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
If you're thinking about a compact tractor and you want the best, you can afford a Kubota. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Come into one of our locations and check out the new Kubota L2502 package deal, including a 4-wheel drive tractor with a hydrostatic transmission, a front loader, a rear mower, a box blade, and a trailer, all for one low price. With a deal this good, you can afford a Kubota from Ewald Kubota. From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. You know, we're in a studio that has no windows. So I have no idea how bad it is out there. If you're on the highway right now, call us and tell us how bad it is, because we get off work in 20 minutes. What are we going to deal with? I don't like surprises. The other day, Perrin Bidle was so backed up.
Horrible.
And my GPS was like 48 minutes to get home. And I'm like, the hell it will be.
Wow.
Good thing you know different back roads. And I can only imagine how bad the rain is. Although, apparently a lot of snow in Dallas, a lot more than I thought. I just saw Eric Morris, the former head coach at UIW, post some pictures of his kids building snowmen in the backyard.
Nice.
They
That's
didn't know
fun.
it was going to snow enough to have a snowman.
Well, there you go.
I sent him a message. Is that in Dallas, or did you go back to Pullman for some reason at Washington State?
Good for him. Now, Mean Green says it's nasty outside. Says that on our YouTube page.
Mean Green?
Mean Green.
All right, that's weird to talk about Eric Morrison again. A Mean Green reference right away.
Yeah.
Is that Eric actually listening in?
Maybe so.
Possible.
Well, he says he's at 410 and 90.
Okay.
Just nasty.
Just nasty.
Yeah.
Ben Brasino, as you might imagine, says the General John McClain has been wrong before. That's what I love about Ben, and a lot of you, but Ben in particular, loves when John McClain is on and agrees with everything he says except for what he doesn't. Now he's been wrong before. That guy doesn't know anything.
Yeah. Well, Fred Villarreal says the same thing.
Yeah.
So these Texan fans, they're circling the wagons.
I just think it's funny that blind love for your team that you can't see reality, yet they're the same people that will pile on every Dallas Cowboy fan out there. That's what fans do. That's what makes it fun.
And I say something, and I get a one-finger salute over there from our glorious producer.
Glorious now.
Yeah.
He's glorious.
Glorious.
Glorious, you say.
Yeah. Dude, the best thing McClain said today was Simple Jack, referring to Mr. Davis there with the Raiders. That's hilarious.
This is why we have him on.
Absolutely.
Never know what's going to happen. Never know what's going to happen. As you think about college football and everything going on, what do you think of this move that Carson Beck did? Initially declaring for the draft, then he sees all the portal stuff, and he knows there's teams out there that are in need. He's probably going to cash in because he probably got a draft grade that wasn't what he thought it was going to be. And now he's in the portal and could end up somewhere and probably cash in pretty big.
Well, rumor has it he's going to Miami. They seem to have the I guess, odds-on favorite to land Carson Beck. But keep in mind, he just had surgery on that elbow or arm or whatever the case was. And so maybe that had something to do with his draft stock. And he decided, hey, it worked out pretty well for Cam Ward to head to Miami and up his draft stock. So maybe it'll work for Carson Beck.
And all you need is one of those big-time programs with a whole lot of money to say they're interested. And then all of a sudden, now there's a bit of a bidding war. And that's just life with college football in 2025. And we talk about like the schools like that, they'll come up with the money. That's not an issue. Places like UTSA, if somebody leaves, and they're going to go shopping at schools like UTSA, at the American.
Yep.
And then, so you got to come up with money to try to keep those guys, although if they're getting offered that, you can't compete. And Jeff Traylor has told us before, there's some like, dude, that kind of money, you need to go.
Of course.
I can't come up with that. And he had one this year, said, nah, coach, I'm going to the NFL. I'll stay because that money's in my future. Those kind of guys are far and few between.
These days they are. And as the money continues to get bigger and bigger, and it will, whether that's from the schools themselves or the under-the-table things, which will come back, by the way. They will. That money's going to get bigger. So good luck to all the football coaches out there that are having to deal with that.
Absolutely. And if you're like Eric Morrison, the same boat as Jeff Traylor, go build a snowman on a day and play with the kids. Why the hell not?
Exactly right.
Would you rather have snow like that in Dallas or this cold crap rain that you're dealing with today?
Cold crap rain.
Really?
Yes. I don't want any part of that snow ever again.
What do you mean ever again?
Ever again. If I don't see snow in San Antonio ever again for the rest of my life, I'll be happy as hell.
I would say if I was sitting at my kitchen table right now and it snowed, I think I'd be okay. I'd rather see the snow because it's going to fall. You can go play in it. But this rain, cold rain is just the worst.
You're going to go play in the snow if it snows? Is that what you're telling me?
Absolutely.
You are, huh?
Absolutely.
A guy that everybody on our YouTube page said you need to take a walk tonight.
Well,
but you'd get out there if it snowed.
Well, it's cold and rainy. I'm not going to walk in this.
I think you should.
But I'd go play in the snow. Just like in June when I was in Wyoming, it started snowing.
It did in June.
In June.
Dude, can you imagine?
And we played. It was a surprise, but fun.
Not happening. I'd much rather have the rain. This is going to go away. Tomorrow's going to be nice. The weekend forecast is fantastic.
That snow in Dallas is going to be gone over the weekend, too.
No, because it turns into muddy slush.
Dude.
That's what happens.
It does. I remember the first time I remember seeing snow. I was 18 years old. I was living in New York, and it snowed, and I thought it was the greatest thing. And 3 weeks later, that same snow was still there, but now it was brown and gross. I hated snow and decided I'd never live where it's cold again.
Nasty. I got to tell you, dude, it snowed in Alice, Texas when I was in the 5th grade.
Really?
Yeah. We went outside and made raspas out of the snow.
Yellow snow?
It wasn't yellow.
Okay.
No. I made sure even in the 5th grade, I ain't eating yellow snow.
You know, it's funny because I know it snowed some when I was a kid. In Copper's Cove,
yeah.
There's photos. I have no real memory of it.
I do remember that.
You know, so like the first time I really remember seeing snow, I was 18. It was in New York.
Wow.
Yep.
Who do you like tonight?
Well, let's do Prime Picks. We're not? Oh, there it is.
Picks on the Blitz.
So are we going to do all the games or just tonight's game and save the rest of them for tomorrow?
I think just tonight's game. We'll save the rest for tomorrow, yeah.
Just tonight's game. The Orange Bowl, Penn State, Notre Dame. The field looks fantastic.
Yeah, no weather to affect anything. At least it doesn't appear to be. So that should be a non-factor. It's just going to be who plays best and all the cliches. Who doesn't turn the football over and yada, yada, yada,
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
I see you're the only one of the three of us that hasn't filled in the form yet.
Oh, is there a form?
Yes, there's always a form.
Oh, my goodness.
It's right there in your Google Drive. It's only week 20 of doing this.
You only sent it yesterday. There it is, right there. Look at that. Now, see, I can't believe you guys.
Oh, here we go.
Oh. You took Penn State.
Oh, man.
Do you honestly believe I'm going to ever pick Notre Dame for anything?
When there's money on the line, yes.
Yes, but I've already taken Penn State tonight, +1, and the under. So that's just all truth be told.
So all the drama's out of this. All three of us are taking Penn State.
Interesting.
And I will tell you, Ryan Eagle's taking Penn State because he hates Notre Dame.
Well, look, this is a toss-up. You can flip a coin, I think. I think these teams are evenly matched defensively, and it's a toss-up. So I think either side you go, you could feel relatively comfortable that you're going to be okay.
I think we're going to have a solid, low-scoring game, 24-17 maybe, 21-13.
Yeah, something like that.
I could see that. For me, I'm going with the quarterback that I think is better, and that's Drew Aller.
Same reasoning. Notre Dame's defense is fantastic, but Drew Aller's and that offense I trust more than Notre Dame's, who won a game with 2 returns basically against Indiana and Georgia.
The one thing about Penn State that I'm a little concerned about is their path to here hasn't been as tough. And so, you know, they've been off for so long, and, you know, they played an SMU team. And, you know, I just wonder, you know, the physicality that Notre Dame is going to bring. Is Penn State prepared for that? I know they're coming from the Big Ten, but, man, it's been over a month since they've had a game like that where they've played a physical team like Notre Dame. Wonder if that will be a difference tonight.
Could be. But again, I think you could toss a coin and you'd be okay in this one and feel pretty decent about it. But I'm going with Penn State because, well, the Golden Domers are the Golden Domers, and I despise them.
If you're so confident, why don't you just go money line?
Well, I could do that. It's
Increase
1
the
point.
Payout,
Well,
right?
it's not. It's even money on Penn State, so it doesn't help me any.
Mm-hmm. You know what we do every Thursday about this time?
The Blitz wants you to know what's on tap. Presented by Sam's Burger Joint.
We let you know what's happening this weekend. It's brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint, online at samsburgerjoint.com. Adam Hood is on stage tonight. Tomorrow night, Deadeye, a Grateful Dead tribute band. On Saturday, they've got a Dave Matthews tribute. Linda Gale Lewis is there on Sunday. Again, samsburgerjoint.com. See their entire calendar and get your tickets.
Out of Green Hall tonight, you can celebrate Elvis's birthday. Slim Bob is out there at the Majestic Theater. Sal Vulcano. I hope that's how you say it. Everything's Fine tour. Paper Tiger has Max Diaz and Melissa Villaseñor. I think I said that right?
No.
She's at the LOL Comedy Club. Yeah.
Friday night, Shane Gillis, the comedian, is out at Frost Bank Center. Green Hall has the Reed Brothers. Majestic Theater has Hadestown?
Oh, wow.
I guess. I don't know.
Saturday, a lot of football at the Alamo Dome. Get there early. You got the Navy All-American Bowl first, then the San Antonio Sports High School Football All-Star Game, all presented by Valero, or the last one presented by Valero. Go out and see that. Might say hello to Minix. Take your radio with you. Curtis Grimes, Saturday night, is out at Green Hall. Hadestown continues at the Majestic Theater. You want to see a little Texas Longhorn basketball, you can go to the Moody Center Saturday night. They're taking on Tennessee. And at Pick's Bar, you've got Finding Friday Saturday night.
That's always a good
Have
time.
you seen them?
Finding Friday?
Yeah.
Many times.
All right.
Many times. Normally on a Friday, not on a Saturday.
Okay.
And so there's a problem. No, I'm kidding. That's a great band. Sunday, Tom Gilliam is out at Green Hall Aztec Theater. Who's Bad? The Ultimate Michael Jackson Experience.
Wow. That might be interesting. Let's go through here. At Green Hall, Brett Graham's there Monday night. And a couple of things happening next week.
What's on tap? Brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint, online at samsburgerjoint.com. Of course, tomorrow the morning huddle gets going from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Rob Thompson, A.J. Hoffman will have your first reaction to tonight's Orange Bowl and start getting you ready for the Cotton Bowl tomorrow night. Then it's Greeny, the Rich Eisen Show. Then the Blitz tomorrow live out at Popstroke. They're on I-10 near 1604 with our friends from Flight by Yingling for a very special Flight Friday.
We might have to have a beer bet on a couple of holes out there. It's putt-putt, Minix. You can do it.
I'm sure.
Might have to happen.
We could do that. Look at you, man, trying to get some beer back after your ridiculous
right.
Dalvin Cook beer bet.
It was pretty ridiculous.
He's going to go over 1,000 yards, and he got 20. The Orange Bowl next here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're listening to The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson.